Tear down the building. It's just. Go December 12th, 2023, City Council meeting order. Find everybody silence their phones, which I need to listen to myself.
Yes. Oh, Heavenly Father, we come to you right now, Lord, with our hands, Lord, to thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for your leading, your guiding, protection of sweet Jesus. Lord, I ask you right now, Lord, to come into this meeting and increase each and every one of us in us, Lord, to respect each other and do the right things for the city. These blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilmember Bryan.
Yep.
Councilmember Hampton. Here. Councilmember Woodfall. Here. Vice Mayor Lansing. Here. Mayor. Mayor Ketchum.
Approval of items on the consent agenda. Approval to read by title only ordinance number 1035. Approval to read by title only ordinance 1036. Resolution 2023-29, 2023-30, 2023-31, 2023-32, and 2023-30.
Second. Councilmember Bryan.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton. Yes. Councilmember Woodfall. Yes. Councilmember Landry. Yes. Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Receiving requests from the general public, any person wishing to address the council regarding non-agenda items will be given 5 minutes, whereas groups or delegations will be given 10 minutes for discussion. Anyone who would like to address yes.
Yeah, I just put agenda item 6M and 6N first, please. Since we have some of these. 6M and 6N.
So you want to move around the agenda?
Yes, please.
I look at the, D probably, A through C, I'll have someone here to speak. We can move to D, A through C, I'll have someone here to speak.
Well, you're going to speak on this. Okay.
So you put them in between D and E,
Between C and D.
C and D.
Thank you.
Okay, number 5 did. I'm sorry, you want to speak?
Yes. I was here to speak on, getting out of 6, 6M and 6N.
Okay, well, we haven't gotten to it yet, so when we get to it, we'll.
Yes, sir.
This is for non-agenda items.
General.
Sorry,
Well,
are you speaking on the
I'm
agenda
speaking
item?
on the general, agenda items, but to the general public, it's gonna coincide with the same, because I have somewhere to go, if that's permissible.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so I come to the board multiple times discussing exercise equipment and the discourse at Lockton Park, and I said it's on the agenda. So
from my perspective, I know we applied for a couple grants and didn't get the grants. We went to the health department, looked for the grants and to get it, and didn't get it, but now that this agenda item to be added to the budget, I will ask that the city council approve to add this the disc course, which is 6M, and item 6N, which is the exercise equipment, to be approved to work for Lockridge Park. Again, this would fall in line with their exercise equipment within all the other parks in the community. I think it'll go towards showing the city council's commitment to the health and wellness of Perry with the equipment out there. We have more people coming out there that's want to use the equipment. I've talked to multiple people while exercising at the other parks. They said they would like to a change of scenery and come over to Lockridge Park and work out. I've talked to multiple people that from surrounding counties that uses the disc course out there, and they come to Lockridge Park and use the disc, and they said it would also come to, they come to the sports complex and use the services there. And they said they would also come to Lockridge Park and use it. So I think it would go a long way toward showing the commitment from the city council to support the community. I think we'll bring the community together as a whole, and I think it's something that's needed. So from my perspective, if the city would approve this is about my fourth or fifth time. And I know when it comes to budgetary money aspects of it, you have to make sure the money is aligned. But if the money is available and it's going towards bringing the community together, I don't see why it would not be approved at this point in time. So as far as is the vote going to be done afterwards, and I can come back in and see what the actual vote is? So if you give me a time frame, I can do that, or is it something that we can kind of look at now, or what I need to do? Because I can leave and come back. I got an appointment. If not, can we vote on it?
Just further down on the agenda.
Excuse
Just
me.
further down on the agenda.
Okay, so you give me a roundabout time, but I might come back in so I can see it on the agenda.
If we leave it towards the end, it'll probably be a little while.
A little while. Okay, so I got about 45 minutes or so to come back. Okay, and so if it's not approved, is it votes and everything reported with the yeas and nays and
Oh, yeah.
things that I missed? Okay, again, so from my perspective, I would appreciate it very much to consider something for the community that's going to move the community forward. Okay, thank y'all for your time.
Anyone else from the public like to speak on agenda?
I just want to ask if you would,
Have you
talk,
you come over?
just speak up a little bit on here and here, and I can't quite hear what you're saying. If you just speak up a little bit.
Shut that door, hit the head off.
All right.
We'll get it.
Got any water on there?
Okay, item number 5 will be bids. Any bids that are open?
All right,
Council.
we, our purchasing agent resigned, and, we have 4 bids out tonight. And I have 2 of them for pole barn, but that wasn't a bid that we had going on. But she had some that were mislabeled. You saying yes for? We
Yes,
already
yeah.
got the pole barn.
They were mislabeled. She sent them
But
out.
these could be for one of the other items, so I'm gonna open them first. Because the other items that are legit are, paving for the Boys and Girls Club, a drive-on lift for our shop, Jerkins bathroom plumbing, and Lothridge painting. And she had mislabeled these items, so they probably will belong somewhere on the agenda. So that's why if we open first, then we can put them in the right stack. At least it's witnessed before God and everybody. So, this one. What's for, but. Mankin Precision. Full arms still. Marking Precision. But she told the label that's what that way, that's why it's. Paint rollers and brushes. It's for painting the exterior of Lothridge, so now we know what it really is. So that will go with the painting ones. This one from Razorback. is painting rows of brushes. So these are all for the painting. So we will move on to the painting bid. Let me read the necessary things I need to read. At this time, I'm opening the sealed bid for painting. I will only be reading out the vendor and the amount of the bid. There will be no discussion about this at the time. If they're being opened, these bids will be given back to the purchasing agent and none to the department for which the sealed bid is for. The city reserves the right to reject any and all bids. The city reserves the right to select the bidder, waive any informalities, or to accept the bid deemed to be in the best interest of the city. In errors, bid submissions are the responsibility of the bidder. So, let's look at Razorback. $18,000. Then MTC C 20,000.
That's for painting.
Lockridge Park.
Okay. FDC 29,475. Razorback 18,000.
And then this other one I didn't open because it was labeled painting. So it was not confusing. From QE. Quick. That's 36,000. That's our painting bids.
And it's the second time we get it of this, right?
Yeah, we didn't get any
And 20, the first one was 18 months. I remember correctly. Okay.
All right, moving on to paving. At this time, I'm opening the sealed bid for paving. I'll be reading out the vendor and the amount of the bid. There will be no discussion at this time about the bids. It's being opened. These bids will be given back to the purchasing agent, then to the department which the sealed bid is for. The city reserves the right to reject all bids. The city reserves the right to select the bidder, waive any informalities, or to accept the sealed bid deemed to be in the best interest of the city. Any errors in bid submissions are the responsibility of the bidder. Paving. This one is $7,850. Owner Mason. What's the first one? Milliner. Okay. So that's the third.
Just have one question. I worked on the other. That's the only reason I'm asking. What paving need to do with this?
I don't know. I didn't really read the bid a whole lot. I didn't have much to do with it.
And anyone interested?
I can read you the bid if you want to read the bid.
Well, somebody here should know what we're paying at those boys and girls.
Yeah.
Well, the bid, it's in there. If you want me to stop, I'll read that. I have the bid.
I would like to know.
No, I did not. I believe it's the driveways.
It's on the bid, it says.
Yeah, I don't have a
A
copy.
driveway located at 202 East Julia Street beside the duck pond. I think 202 East Julia Street's the old rec building. I guess maybe, I'm not sure, that's all it says.
What we just revolved.
It says the driveway is 73 foot long, 12 foot wide. It says we'll start at Julia Street and go into the current handicap parking spaces.
That's the
OPC Park.
pavilion.
Oh, yes, old little,
Yeah.
yeah, the old JC's.
What she, well, I was gonna say it, but she said it for me. What we're saying is that that was never come before us for bids.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
It is now, they don't come to you first.
We didn't know, we weren't aware that it was out there for a bid. That's
You
what we're
asked for it,
saying.
is what you said. We didn't ask for it. Right. Y'all don't usually do that.
We asked for this.
May have been part of the project.
Yeah, they, remember they pay us a lot of money in rent. And we own the infrastructure and they maintain through the rent money.
So, ma'am,
I said, I think she's not getting what we're saying. What we're saying is that, say how we knew that, the painting for Lock Ridge was out for bid. She was saying,
But
Yeah.
we bid out all kinds of
But-
things that you don't know about. I mean, it's like in the budget or, you know. I mean, if you want now the Boys and Girls Club to come before you every time they need to bid something out. we
no,
do
Miss
that.
Pena, that's not what I'm asking.
Okay, let me understand this. When I asked about this paving, it should have been done 6, 7 years ago at Lock Ridge Park. I always say, if we gotta wait until we do the paving of the streets. But now we're paving.
A parking lot. Yeah.
That's what that is, basically.
This isn't paving anything. Pouring concrete
The driveway,
driveway.
But it says paving.
one of the bids, it says this driveway is 73 foot long and 12 foot wide. There's a driveway will flare out a 14 foot road to 10 feet. The driveway will start at Julia Street and go into the current handicap parking spaces. The driveway flare out
It
will be
says concrete driveway, while there's a foot pavement, I'm not sure, but somebody had to have told her to send out a bid.
Oh, yeah, Emily did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when they need something, and if it's over $5,000, it has to go out for bid.
Well, that's what she was asking, how to.
And it's been on the website, and, but it
Yeah, but
doesn't,
I mean,
but it doesn't go to the council before.
I know there was one, but though, who
Initiative.
initiated the bid.
Thank you. Chair.
I think it's the, from what little I've heard here, I think that piece, I think it's the, but it comes off that building, slopes down, the water washes everything to the pond. They're trying to stop that.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get really involved in it because,
Some deal y'all made with the Boys and Girls Club where they get to spend the money they pay in rent. They write their own scopes. We don't write the scopes.
I don't think, John, that's what we were asking.
Um,
Danielle answered.
okay.
But that does help answer it. They can pretty much ask what they want,
do a certain way.
as long as it's within what the rent they're paying.
And following our the city of Paris purchasing rules.
Yeah.
Which is why they had to send it out to bid. And now the big one, the lift. Bunch of them for that. First call. $10,500.
City shop. Vehicle.
Not one of those things you drive on, but it's about maybe to work on it. Every car shop, let's go.
This is the one that's got higher capacity.
Who's yours?
At the garage.
It's called Live Now. It's 13,002.
Yeah, 13-2 in order.
And the first call was 10-5. And then this one's from a company called Tank. And I was assuming that this is what the bid's for, it's not. I guessed right. Not a bid item.
Penny, I think some folks are having a difficult time here.
Huh?
I think some folks are having a difficult time here.
I'll speak up, I can be loud. And this one's from Cutting Edge Automotive Solutions, and it's $20,609.75.
Give it again. 20,000.
$20,609.75. I'm done.
Yeah, that's all the, so did you get any bathroom plumbing bids?
No plumbing bids.
Maybe, yeah, re-rate the rest of the building.
Can I ask a question? We had bids last month. How do we know which bid you select and when you go? Is that gonna come back to us or we just,
If it's above 25,000, go back to normal.
okay,
And a lot of them lately have not been over 25,000, but they were over 5,000 each to go out to bid.
So what do you, I mean, just out of curiosity, what do you do in the case when you get notes on something? Just try to negotiate something?
We call around and try to find out more people that we can send them to and try again.
Sometimes you have to send out an invitation to bid, not just post it. We'll do that as well. That's how we found some division.
Gotcha.
Can you repeat the name of the first bidder on the list, 10,500?
First Call Truck Parts.
First fall?
Call.
Righty. Number two, general business, agenda item 6A, Billy Brock to address city council regarding code enforcement. Council taking the action.
So I'm getting a rouse from the code enforcement, Jamie and his coworker Bruce, about the vehicles and supposedly having a junkyard in my property. We don't. We work on cars for a living. When Bob Brown was in y'all's office, we had an agreement was, as long as I keep everything organized, I can have the property the way it is. Since Jamie's took over, I can't do none of that. Trying to tell me to put a fence up, I have to have a 6-foot fence all around, it has to be enclosed. If I do that, you're not gonna be able to back out in the house. Because everybody on that kingdom wants to run your greenwood. So, Bruce, Jamie come to me first, we had agreement was, move a couple cars, everything would be fine, going about the business. Bruce come up yonder, I was working on EMS, putting AC hoses on EMS up underneath the ambulance, he told me to get my ass out from up on the ambulance, we need to stop. So I went over yonder, talking to him, he was talking about, I had to move the right of way from the sidewalk back, I think, I got papers here, 20 feet, I think it is. Anyways, I said, no, there's no code enforcement on a US DOT highway. So the next time he come, he brought Jan from the DOT office with him. He told me I didn't know what I was talking about. Ms. Jan walked over to in front of his car, pointed on the ground and said, Bruce, his property line goes to the sidewalk and told him there is no code enforcement on a US DOT highway. All you can code enforce me for is Duval Street. It's been a hassle on the road. Then last Wednesday, I got the EPA come down and shut me down. Somebody from the city called and said I was pouring oil, my used motor oil, all on the ground. Well, he done an investigation on it. We walked all the way around the whole property. I passed it with a 100 and no violations. I'm tired of the harassment. I just run the business, all I'm doing. Everybody around my neighborhood parks the same way I do. Every shop parks the same way. I got pictures to prove it. Then you go over to Advanced Recreation, they got a junkyard. That is a junkyard. Clean their mess up. Go to Campus, clean his mess up. Go to Harris. Everybody's parking all the way around the same way. It ain't nobody trying to run the junkyard, we're just trying to run a business.
What are you basically saying? You got so many cars that the parking lot just gets that full?
Yeah, well, you can move 7 cars out, 10's coming. You can move 5 cars out, 7's coming. I'm just a one-person shop, that's all I'm doing. I keep it all organized, I pay the homeless people come up yonder to pick up trash. I keep all my trash picked up, I try to keep all my cars in the road. But they told me I couldn't park on the side of the road. Why can't I park on the side? If they're legal vehicles, I mean, I don't leave them out there. I pick them at the end of the day, I put them back in my parking lot.
Where's your business located?
B&B Auto Repair, right there on Brian Butler Parkway, 1402, right across from West Ray.
Across from West Virginia.
Yes, ma'am.
Just, isn't that the one where Campbell used to
Yeah,
be?
Campbell used to be there. That place has looked like that for many years. It ain't that we don't want them to look like that. It takes time to get parts. I had 4 vehicles when Jamie was over yonder for transmissions. It take me 8 weeks to get a transmission for them vehicles. We put the transmissions back in the vehicles, and now the vehicles are gone. But you just can't create parts overnight. The shipping is terrible. I mean, it's not that all I'm doing is trying to run a business. That's all I'm doing. I'm a one-arm shop, that's my shop. I don't go work for nobody else, but I want to be treated fair. If I got to do something, everybody else should have to do it. This whole town's got it. Not just pick and choose. And then I've seen Bruce come to my shop with a firearm on his side. Code enforcement's not supposed to have a firearm. It's in the law where you cannot have a firearm. I've seen patrolling vehicles out here in the city streets, in the city truck, with a police vest on and a firearm on his side, patrolling vehicles at a crash, and he don't even have any credentials to be a police officer. All that stuff is gone.
Is there some kind of compromise we can come to on this?
I think we need to hear from Jamie, since Jamie's name been mentioned many times.
Amen.
That's the photographs. I would like to pass out to you. And then I'll provide you with them as well.
That's fine.
First one's gonna be a satellite image of the property where the vehicles are parked. The 20. Yeah, I take it. This is the property appraiser website for that parcel that's outlined in blue. Aaron, I'll give you copies. This next one is photographs we've taken of the vehicles parked there. You look through these vehicles, I'd like you to pick out the mold and the mildew on these vehicles have been set there so long, haven't been repaired. Here's the satellite image. Here's the property appraiser's outline. Of that piece of property.
So,
I'm gonna need to hang on. I'm not listening. So, real quick, if you look at the property appraiser's copy, it's got the blue outline of the property in which his business operates. You'll notice there's cars that are not on his property. There's cars that are on pieces of city property. There's cars that are on the church's property. There's cars that are on the right of way that the city has on Duval Street. He's exactly correct about Highway 19. But anything else that's not on the state road is our domain, and we can enforce that. Satellite image shows you how many vehicles he has there. This is a 2023 image. Within the last couple of months. There's a lot of vehicles. He's supposed to maintain.
Where's the fence that he said?
We've been trying to come up with a way to help him. He's not the property owner. The property owner is Jason Campbell.
Yeah.
And so we notified Jason Campbell, his property is in violation, which we're required to do because it's his property.
Yeah.
Jason come up with the idea with the fence.
No, you come up.
I did not.
Bruce is the one that come up and said we had to put.
But we're trying to compromise. We can try to compromise or we can't.
No, it ain't that, it's just, I'm trying to run a
I
business.
give you an opportunity to speak and I didn't interrupt you. Can you please afford me the same person? And then the last one set of images is the vehicles that he has on his property. You'll notice there's a pile of engines and vehicle parts sitting right next to that canopy on the first page. The phone call was made that there was engine parts sitting on the ground and we don't know if oil's leaking out of it. It wasn't oil was being disposed of on the property. I heard the phone call. Okay, so we'll clarify that now. But look at the other vehicles. They're up to the edge of the property line on the DOT right of way. They're on the right of way for the city of Perry. We addressed all those things. And then he told me he was gonna take care of it, but it was okay for a couple of days and then it went right back to the same.
No, I've actually moved everyone, most of the Jeep's gone. A couple of these other cars are gone because I have fixed the vehicles and they drove them away.
Does these images accurately represent the way your property looks today?
No, it doesn't.
Does it look
Because
similar?
I have moved, I moved probably 10 cars out there.
Do you have a
I've
written work order on every one of
Yes, I do.
them? Okay, we'll come by and collect it.
That's fine.
What I'm want to say here is we either gonna do code enforcement or we're not. Just because he is being addressed for this doesn't mean we're not talking to others. We're doing it with others. He's the one to come out here this morning discussing you, which he's allowed to do. But we're either gonna do code enforcement or we're not. We started making some good headway with some issues here. This is complaint driven. We've had complaints on this about people in the area and people driving. That's how we're addressing this.
Why can't the vehicles be parked in the back of the property?
That's full of other vehicles. You can't see it
Because
to the street canopy.
there is a dip. If you go to the side where the front of the building space and to your left, there's a dip right yonder that goes down, that drops down probably 20 feet. The back of it, and I've got it okay with the church as long as I was keep everything organized. Nobody says no. Mr. Carl Williams says I was fine.
How many vehicles do you have on your property at any given time?
Well, at times, I mean, I get bomb rush from one person working on a vehicle. I would get bomb rush I probably had 40, 50 cars at a time.
Because I just counted a bunch, just from the picture.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sure I can't see them all.
Are you taking more work than you can actually do?
No, I'm not. I mean, the biggest thing is just like I said, I get a vehicle in, I tear it apart, and I can't get parts. So what I do is I just move it over to the side, get another vehicle. I tear a transmission out of one, and it takes 7 to 8 weeks to get a transmission. I got one prime example. I got one now, I just put a motor in one. Steve could tell you, he could vouch for me, he was at my shop. The finance company called me today, said they want to repossess it. I told them it was a $1,700 deal to repossess it. That was over their budget of spending with the car. So now I have to file a mechanics lien. It takes 60 days before I can file a mechanics lien on this vehicle. Then after 60 days, I can file a mechanics lien. Takes 3 months for the mechanics lien to come. I mean, just trying to do the right way. I keep it all organized and clean. I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm not trying to be a burden on nobody. I'm just trying to run a business right here in town. Last year I spent $94,000 in parts for a one-person shop. This year here I spent $97,000 just in parts for my oneself buying for vehicles.
I'd like to just point out that he's asking you to allow him to violate by him being here tonight. I think we should make him, just like we do everybody else, abide by the ordinances.
I'm not
They
saying,
comply with it.
all I'm saying is I'm trying to run a business. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to run a business.
And we're trying to run a
I
city,
got you. Yes, ma'am, I understand that.
and when the laws are made, everybody's expected to abide by.
But you got another shop here in town that ain't got no business license.
Who is it? We'll go talk with
Okay.
him. Who is it?
It's Fort Gamble.
Okay, we'll go start with that then.
Every day from here on out, we're gonna talk about this. I'm not gonna let this run away from me.
Where's his shop? Where's his shop?
You know where Courtney lives.
It's in his house?
Yeah. All I'm doing is just trying to ask for fairness around here. All I wanna do is run a business. I wanna run my business. That's all I'm asking. Parking on side of the streets and keeping everything organized, I don't see where a problem is.
Well, we want to be fair too.
Yes, ma'am, I
But at the
understand.
same time, we want to present a respectable city,
Yes, ma'am.
organized, everybody abiding by the law,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And this is a mess.
Yes, ma'am, but he says on the picture where the property line is, according to USDOT, I go all the way to the sidewalk.
This is the property appraiser's website. It's close. to
But
what
why
it
does DOT says I got property line all the way to the sidewalk?
This, property just in the strip coming across here. Looks like it comes through the church.
is. Cities.
But
We've asked
to buy that across the street at I think it's Rollison, I can't think of his name.
The house on the corner.
He bought all his right of way the same way. We've asked if we can buy that right of way, that little short piece of right of way. No, we can't buy it, but everybody else can buy their own right.
Who did you ask about it?
Yeah,
We've asked Bruce, we've asked Jamie, but Bruce says, no, we can't buy.
You've never asked me to buy that,
What?
so I'm gonna clear that up.
Did you ask city manager or?
Well, Jason Campbell just called me last Thursday or Friday, and I've actually brought it up to them this morning about that. We've got to do some research. I know there's power lines on that, but anyway, I think the city has a process now that they've come up with.
Yeah, we don't want to maintain anything, we don't have to, so if someone wants to buy something that's not.
They have
Okay,
our
so
policies.
where would you go at to?
Where do we go to buy that piece of property?
That's something.
Request the policy they approved, I don't know, month ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
We have a policy of disposing surplus lands.
So where do you go? Where do you go to?
Well, just
Come
call the
sit
city manager, tell me you're interested.
And Jason will need to though.
Jason.
Yeah.
And I did talk to
Unless
Jason.
you want to vouch yourself.
Really, would that help with more room?
Well, that's what he's complaining about the city right away, getting it off of there. The church says I'm fine. I don't have an agreement with the church. The church says I'm just fine. I keep all the property clean. I keep the trash picked up. I don't have no problem with church. I just was over, Carl Williams come over the other day and I talked to him about it. And he says, why are they bitching with you with this when we can't even hold church in our own place of business with the people behind us partying and throwing beer cans everywhere, and somebody's done busted the window out the back of the church. I want to clean up. When the storm was there, I took tractors and hired a couple of people. We picked the limbs off in the church parking lot for it.
Mr. Brock. Can I speak?
Yes.
Council? My name's Steve Wentz. I come over here and help Billy all the time, Mr. Brock. I like to go there and hang out and help him. I donated my time and my equipment to go help him remove car parts, motors, trash. We hauled off a whole rollback worth of
Yes, sir. 40-foot beam.
yeah.
How long
Huge.
ago?
How much did I
Yes.
charge you?
This was approximately 7 months ago.
Yes. Didn't charge nothing.
Didn't charge-
I don't mind helping. This is a man that goes around and helps everyone. He donates so much of his time and he will bend over backwards for the community, for this town. Now, that being said, I've only been before you, I think one time before, when I was being harassed by, I was volunteering my services with the VFW and I was ran off the curb from taking donations exactly this time last year. And I was told that you can't donate or raising donations by the road. Now, I know now, hindsight's 2020, there was no such ordinance, I would make that up and we go along, and then next meeting, we'll make an ordinance on it. I'm not, all I'm doing is asking, but he is trying, I've sat there on the phone, he is getting rid of cars that they've been abandoned on his property, they won't pay for the bill. And so he has been slowly getting rid of cars. Now, at the same time, he has people that have, families that this is their only vehicle they have that come up there and beg him to please can you fix it. I gotta have this thing back. And so he has to put these other jobs aside and try to help out. And he does. And I said, really, man, tell him come back 2 days from now, he won't do it. He drops everything and tries to get that family car running for him. And it does put his job behind, but they're actively being worked on. Now he has one vehicle there he's had since I remember the guy dropped it off back a year and a half ago. That the guy won't pay for it, so he has to go through that process in order for he can't just haul it off. That's grand theft. He can't just remove it and get rid of it because it's grand theft. He has to go through that process to legally get rid of that vehicle.
So it doesn't take a year and a half to go through the process.
No, but it had to get fixed first, and then after he got it fixed, the guy said, "Next month I'm going to pay you. Next month I'm going to pay you. Next month I'm going to pay you." And then to go on, he parks it in the field. It's been parked for now 6 months, and then he has to go through the process for it. Now, you know as well as I know, if you park a vehicle long enough, mold and mildew is going to set on it because he's not in the washing business, he's in the fix car business. So it's going to sit there a while. And now, I've helped him get rid of a lot of stuff, and I don't mind continuing to help him. But that's why he comes to you to maybe stop getting harassed and allow other people to help him. Just give him time, and that's what we're continuously working on. And you can look out there and take pictures right now tomorrow of where the grass is dead, where he's gotten rid of cars, and he's slowly working on it.
From the magistrate.
No, we haven't made it that far yet.
Yeah, we haven't had code enforcement.
No, can I, just one thing, they talked about the bin. The reason we started, because when that bin was there, it caused a problem with a bicycle crash. And someone was injured, and that's the reason we started the code enforcement process, with me involved right there. So yes, they were trying, but the bin was on part of the right of way. When we brought it to his attention, it was removed, but that was a safety issue, and that's when we started code enforcement, period.
Of course.
Okay. My first concern is the way city employees are addressing our citizens. We have no business.
Ms. Shirley, before you condemn, investigate to see what actually happened. So,
And you do the same.
yes, ma'am, I agree, but I look into things. If there's an issue, I address it, city employees and media.
And you do the same. We have not had code enforcement meetings. I don't know how many this year have.
They're scheduled for the first Monday of every month unless we have nothing on the agenda or the storm delayed them. We have other issues. We also have plans on just meetings in the same day.
After that, we've had code enforcement hearings, I believe, since September. We had one that had nothing, and it was delayed till August, because then we had to reschedule it. But we had because I don't believe we had a full-time code enforcement person.
Let's send out emails.
So, and the thing is,
Yeah. What I suggest is that we're gonna put this on hold for now. And let Jack know, I don't mean that I don't mean that he shouldn't do. But our ordinance says it should be done. But I think this is something for the magistrate.
It's been on hold for about 15 years, so.
So it still should go before the magistrate.
And Ms. Shirley, as long as he's making progress, we won't take it before the magistrate. We don't want to go and get him $250 a day or $25 a day.
Okay,
We
so
don't
it's-
want that.
So he's making progress.
We want him to make progress. We want him to continue to improve the property. Because as long as we start collecting fines, all we can do is add a lien to that property. It doesn't fix the problem.
Making progress.
He has made some, but we do go by and we do check, and if he's not making progress, we need to know. And how can we do that other than go by? So the harassment he's talking about is checking his progress. Now, if your direction is for us to not check on it, we'll just take it straight to the magistrate. We'll go that way. But we want the property improved. We want to help people comply. We've had really good success with other bids by doing this. We've helped people get rid of the problems that they didn't know how to handle. That's what we want. Is we want compliance. We don't want the enforcement side. And that's the way we're trying to do this. Every time we make headway, another vehicle shows up, like he said. We've got to not let it get worse. We've got to continue improving.
So what's the difference in Campbell's down there, they're taking 14 cars and he's got a whole lot here. His business is slaughter mile.
You know,
Nobody says nothing.
you know what?
Hang on.
We
Hang on. This is what he's told me. I got to fix your problem because I don't want them down on me. The reason they're down on me is all what goes on down there.
well, what's going on?
All the drugs. I mean, they're smoking dope, walking around down there working on cars. I mean, I like Jason as a friend.
We're getting way off track here.
Yeah.
We just need to.
But this is, I got something I need to show y'all if you don't mind. You pass it around. So, since he wants to push the issue about my business, he says I can't park on the side of the road. This is at the city impoundment where the city garage is. They're parked the same exact way as I'm parked. Their vehicle, they do got a fence around their property. Their property has got vehicles on it. So what's the difference? Their vehicles has got mold on them. They got old trash trucks. They got old police cars. Why don't they haul their stuff off to the dumpster like we had to do? Talking about a junkyard, there's a junkyard. And then I got some more around here. This is Campbell's. He's in the city limits.
Yeah, that was on that scene like you were talking about.
But this is a trailer that's parked in the city right away. I don't know whose it is, behind my shop, beside Cashway, in the roadway, parked in the roadway. Nobody says nothing about it.
Can I put you down as a complainant on that, Billy?
I don't care. This is Advanced Refrigeration with the scrap everywhere. This is another one of it. This is today's, as we can't park on no right of way to have a business. This is Harris. So you tell me how I'm the only one that's doing wrong.
We'll start addressing it, Billy.
I mean, all I'm asking is I want to be treated like everybody else.
We're gonna start.
This is Fraser's with the tires, which like I say, I'm not there to complain. I'm just saying, for instance, this is behind my shop where I keep parking on the side of the road. There's more violations than just mine. Still got more. I got the Christmas shop. They got weeds all in their place. I mean, you're gonna do a violation for me. Let's get everybody on board. Let's clean the whole town up. If you're gonna clean one, clean all. Just don't come and pick and choose me out of the suspect and nobody else is doing it. It's the only thing I'm asking.
I agree with you 100%, but we've got to start somewhere, and we're gonna follow up with these.
I mean, I pay my taxes every year. I've been there 11 years on my property. I have paid taxes every year. This town is in devastating. You just wait another 5 more months or so, this town is gonna be here. because of the mill closed.
I'll tell you what, okay, what direction shall we go with this? What do you suggest, Chief?
As long as he continues to improve, we're gonna take it for the magistrate. We're gonna start addressing those issues that he brought up.
Billy, can you work toward getting those?
Yeah, but the thing is,
I'm just asking, can you work
yes,
toward getting
I
those?
can, yes, I can, but
Anything else?
I just gotta have the room on the side of the road that they say I can't park, that's where Dylan cars. I have to have that to get the park yonder on the side of the road that I can't get. That they're trying to tell me, no, I can't park it. I'm just in a small confined place. I mean, I do the best I can, I mean.
Anywhere else you can maybe lease or rent or borrow or
No, I
anything you
don't.
can get into? You talk about the church property, I didn't know.
I mean, if I go around and park them all in the church, what are you gonna do, come complain about me for that?
I don't know.
Do what's all the church about allowing you to park there without a problem.
Work ordinance and stuff.
I mean, I got work orders on every vehicle I got. I make sure, and the reason I've done this from day one is because somebody said you need to do it. You need to have a work order for nobody. I got a stack of work orders.
What we need to do is come up with a solution.
I have a question. He works on our trucks, but the ambulances. Be speaking on that, is that a conflict for me?
I would think so,
So I
but,
just need to.
I mean, you're not voting on anything, so I don't see why. You're still a public official, so you can share whatever you
I
want
will
to share.
say comments.
There's no vote happening.
No, I know, don't vote, say, I was just wondering, yeah. Well, since I've known Billy's always said, wow. The thing about it is that we don't have anybody here in Taylor County that can work on those ambulances. Nobody. If his shop gets shut down, we won't have any ambulances. They'll have to go all the way to Jacksonville or Lake City to work out. So I'm not saying that he needs to violate. I'm just saying that we need to look at the whole entire picture. Whatever it is that Jamie said that he's doing wrong, give him time to get what he needs to get in order. If he's violating, I'm not saying don't come after him because that's everything that needs to happen when other people are doing the wrong thing. But my thing is that give him time. He's trying to go to process now. Tomorrow he's gonna show up to the city to try and to look at getting the right of way. And in the process of him doing everything that he needs to do, let's just give him time.
Billy, how long do you think it'll take you to get everything squared away?
I'm working every day. I'm trying to do it. I have one vehicle that I pulled from over yonder to put,
I mean, just in general.
I don't know, probably 6 months. I mean, it's gonna take a little time. I gotta find out all my customers, most of my customers, my computer, and this probably ain't y'all's problem, but my computer crashed the other day. My whole computer crashed. I lost everything in my computer. Now I got a computer shop trying to get all my stuff back up where I can get everybody's number.
Okay, but at the same time, I mean, can you work toward getting everything in compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean,
Oh, yes.
You make some progress.
Yes,
with
sir.
that?
Is the fence part written in the code?
There's ways to abate the nuisance, like one of the things.
By obscuring it.
Yeah.
Can you
The only thing I just worry about is the fence. We put a fence up, that 19, you can't stop nobody. Like they say, they work with ambulances every day. They back out on the road, 19 with lights on, and they literally tear out through the dead median if they're not on the other side of the road. They won't even stop for them. And if
Sometimes we have to get out the truck.
yeah, sometimes you have to get out of the truck and you can't even get them to stop in. But if we put a fence up where I can't see, it's gonna make it way different to back up out of the house.
If there
And
weren't.
that's what, and the biggest thing is I've done had 11 years, I've been there, I've done probably had about 10, 15 break-ins. Nobody has paid me back for all of my vehicles broke into. I've never got nobody in jail but 2 people. I've had them on camera. I put a fence up where you can't see, what's that gonna create?
You have the insurance.
Yes, ma'am, but I don't want my insurance to go up because I'd rather just pay for it out of my pocket. You keep doing your insurance jack up and you can't afford it.
If
Our objective is not to shut you down.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody wants to shut it down. They
No, I mean,
just-
I'm just trying to get some leeway here and, I mean, it takes time to do it. I'm a one person. I don't have 5 or 6 people to work for me. I've had people work for me, but they don't like working for me because I work in the rain and I work outside in the heat and the cold.
How long does it take Lean to sell these cars? You said, I don't know how long it takes. Let's say, you know how long it takes?
Well, I got one lien.
Over a lien on
You
the
know,
car.
how long it takes to lean a car and have the public sale?
I have one, I got one car that is gone, it's gone now. Customer did pay for it. I put a lien on it. They come pay $1. The lien got thrown out for $1 for paying for $1 on it. Because they was considered of paying their property.
If I could though have one suggestion, and I know that you all are not making any decision tonight except to say we want to give Mr. Brock an opportunity. I just want to note again that this has not been before the code enforcement hearing. And even though most of the time those hearings are only for violations, and then usually the idea is charging them, you know, some type of fine, that whatever decision the council makes in the future, understand that, you know, he's coming upon the same situation that other people may come because they don't have enough parking and their business is growing. They don't have enough, it's a good thing that you have more work than maybe you have capacity, but I just would just caution the council to potentially consider then every person who doesn't want to be in compliance, whatever their reason, will come up here, not even have a full hearing with the code enforcement, which is created to look at those things. And there are excuses given. There are people who we're trying our best. And as long as they are trying their best, they're held accountable. And I heard Mr. Brock said that he was here to stop the harassment. And although I was not there, so I don't know how things were said, that, if there's an opportunity, even in this going before code enforcement or some way that he can be accountable without maybe there being so many interactions that are not judged, if that's a problem. But I would agree with Jamie in this situation is that there's been a lot of headway and people are very uncomfortable when you start telling them you have to move your stuff here in your home, you have to move this gate, you have to move this, and they're going to think of it as harassment. There's nothing you can say to make it even sweeter except please. And I don't know if Officer Griffin is saying please, but that just be mindful that if we're going to sort of undermine the code enforcement opportunity, then it actually gives us not us, the city less credibility in trying to get people to comply. And so I was just wondering if I could ask Mr. Brock, what ways, except for the idea of you coming back in 6 months, what ways would make you feel like you were not being harassed? But as Chief has said, they have to check up on the property and make sure, so like a bill collector, nobody likes them, right? But if you're obligated, you sort of have to interface with them. Could you give us a description, a good faith way that they can interact with you that you may not feel harassed? Because it's not.
The biggest thing is talk. You can't talk to Bruce. Bruce is one person you can't talk to. He's just so rude. He thinks he's God's gift and nobody else, but.
Hold on, Billy, that's an opinion.
But I know, but I'm just saying, if Jamie could come by and talk to me, that's just fine. I'll talk to Jamie.
Well, you understand me at the same time, but just having to remind you of
We
what your
can,
obligation.
But the biggest thing is too, I got to have the side road. If we can come to agreement of me having the side road, I pick all my vehicles up during the afternoon.
Are you using the side road?
I'm using.
Hold on, are you using the side road for days, or are you using it for hours? How long are you using it for?
I'm using it for my working hours, and then I move the vehicles back over in my property.
So you use it to give yourself some room, you move it back?
Yes, where I can get on it, drive on and off my racks.
Or waiting on customers to pick them up?
Yes, sir.
Whatever.
Yes, sir.
I want to caution the council on allowing someone to use right of ways for their own private business. That's the city's use for those right of ways. If you make a decision tonight that impacts a business, you may be authorizing every business in town to do the same thing. So be very cautious on making a decision.
We're in here and we're talking about a business. We need to be aware that there are many residents in this city of Perry, the only place that they can park is on the right of way. Nowhere else.
Downtown's the only place you can.
And, you just better be careful there.
Be careful. Might be setting a precedent that you don't appreciate later.
Exactly.
Well, and the right of way that you're talking about, we have to make sure that there are no utilities there that we need to access to.
I understand what you're saying, cause I work for Thomas Cohen and I have to go pick up vehicles off the water meter all the time. That you have to go there to work, but there's no water meters, none whatsoever on those two balls. And where I park, I won't park on them. My water meter is in between the sidewalk and US 19.
Just saying that, you know, if there are utilities buried there, that might be a deterrent to you getting ownership
To
or
not,
use of.
to not extend this longer than needs to be, let us continue the process that's outlined in code and ordinances on code enforcement. It's clearly establishing on how we should do this. There's an appeal process that's built into it if it goes to the magistrate, if it gets that far, to appeal to a court as well. So, the city council direction would be, and I would suggest, is follow the ordinances as established in city code. I will make arrangements for someone other than Bruce to contact him if there's another issue with Bruce going there. I have someone else that can do that, and we'll move forward. But I don't want to make everyone think just because they complain on the code enforcement officer, he won't ever show up, because that's not good business. But I'll address the issue if it comes up with him. We'll handle it a different way. But for now, Bruce is the code enforcement officer, so the compliance officer, we're going to keep doing. Billy, if you make headway and you start keep improving your property, we won't take you before the magistrate. But if it gets worse, we're going to do it. And that's just the way our codes are written, and that's the way it's established, and that's the way we should move forward.
So you agree with me parking on the side?
I don't agree with you parking on the right of way. I don't.
So no, I can't park.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can't. I just caution the city council on allowing someone to use it for their personal use.
Yeah.
So we'll continue down the path.
Maybe you could talk to the church about getting some more footage and give them a little lease for it or something.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, like I said, talk about that piece of property the city owns.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna go tomorrow, see if I can purchase that property.
It's not a quick process, Billy.
I understand, and that's the same thing I'm asking you. This is not overnight of trying to clean up
But
a piece of property when you and your guys are pushing me to do something like overnight. I mean, it just takes time.
Let us see progress. Let us see progress. That's what we're asking for.
You know, they haven't taken you in front of the magistrate, so they're not pushing too hard.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be in front of the magistrate already.
And they fine per day, so you don't want that.
Yeah, nobody wants that. I mean, nobody's trying to shut you down.
Oh, they're just trying to do business.
Really?
Like everybody else.
We need that.
And we're just trying to make our town pretty, especially 19, everybody goes down it. And if
But
we've all got to work with the community.
I can understand, but you go out of city limits, like this south, there's a junkyard right down yonder. I mean,
Well, we can't do
I know,
that.
you can't-
We're surely hacking away at it. And I know in the 20 years I've been here, I've had complaints about that property too. I guess Mr. Campbell owned it. And I remember the church, and it's just, we're just trying. So let's all try to set the example for the community. We're trying to get out of the gutter and up on the curb.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We're just trying to work together to get things
Yeah.
better around here.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thanks. Agenda item 6B, roll call failed to address council regarding the city employees. Council will take any actions deemed necessary.
American, I'll speak first.
Okay.
All of y'all don't know me, some of y'all do. It's big, bad. I own a business in town,
What's your
What's
name?
your name?
Rick Crouch.
Also,
Really quick,
excuse me,
we
don't
had,
interrupt me, Mr.
we had an interaction in reference code enforcement.
Okay.
And I was speaking. I was inside the business. There's been 3 encounters with Bruce. They're all on camera. If this continues, I will take the footage to a different area. But the thing is, I had 4 cars sitting out front of my shop, legitimately insured, tagged, everything to get interior put in. Bruce walks up to me using the F word and everything. It's all on camera. It was eyeballed right down on me and cussing me, called it an effing junkyard. Clean it up or I'll start writing citation. I said, okay, no problem. He said, put a fence up. It's city property. It's not my fence. It's in the ground now, so I had to give it away. Next visit, employee only sign going across the door. Did he go to the office and say, I'm Bruce Griffiths, I'm code enforcement, I come to look at this, or I got a complaint doing that? No. He walks through an employee only and does what he wants to and cusses me again. Third visit, he brings RB Lee with him and some bull crap paper talking about we got a complaint you were painting. Well, I knew who was painting that day, painting a vehicle outside, and he's over there on Center Street. Not me. I paint in Valdosta, Georgia. I have more than one shop. I'm not somebody just from Perry making $20,000 a year. I got millions. I don't mind spending them. Please leave me alone. I am a veteran-owned business. My wife's also on there as a minority. She's from Germany. Please get Bruce under control. Because if he comes in there cussing me again, you're going to need PD to get him off. Because I'm a grown man. I'm 60 years old. You're not going to cuss me like some thug. And don't worry, I got it on video. So you can't uphold him, Jamie. He's out of control. I got friends on the sheriff's department. Matter of fact, some of them are kin to me.
Well, hold on.
That has nothing to do with this tonight.
I understand,
Bruce.
but I code of ethics, I ask questions to them. Are you allowed to go around cussing business on? No, sir, you're not. So I just come to complain.
When you gonna be at your shop tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning. I'm there every morning at 7 o'clock. But I'm not releasing that film to you or the mayor or anybody else. I'm just telling him he needs to get some code of conduct, some ethics to him. Every time Bruce come up, I comply. I put the fence up. I put the 2x4s up. I did everything he asked me. But you're not gonna walk in my business when it says employees only, and you're not gonna cuss me. I retired from the military in '89. That tells you how old I am. I'm not gonna put up with it in civilian life neither. Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Crowder, what's the name of your business, sir?
Custom Creations, we do custom interior.
Custom Creations, thank you.
Yes, ma'am, we do the sheriff's department, we do everybody's,
Where are you located at, sir?
right next to his office.
Orange and Drew.
That's one question I have, car shops, paint shops, interior shops.
The mayor's been there.
Did the, one time a while back, I look about it, does a, car shop, the cars that are there, they have to be tagged and insured, or going to be towed in?
So if it's a repair shop, but his scope of business is not repairs, it's interior work. It's not mechanical repairs, it's interior work.
I have a state license that says auto body and repair.
All right, that's
Because
fine.
we had to get a license, because Bruce called them on us, because we're not allowed to open a door or take a door panel off without having a repair license.
And that's fine, but the lease for your building is not for automotive engine repair, it was for.
I don't build engines. These are not greasy. They never will be.
I was just asking if you got a, I don't know, 67 Chevelle, you're getting rebuilt one into the other. It's gonna be down for a
Mayor,
couple of years. Do you
I had a
have to tag
'67 Shelby GT out there, a '57 Chevy, a '55 Chevy.
Okay, I get it.
It's not a good car.
I understand. I'm just asking from a law standpoint, does it have to be tagged and insured?
If it's there for repairs.
That's all. Bail.
Right, then. Cruise. Anyway. With the, August the 30th, back when that storm hit, say give y'all time to do y'all job and everything. Well, the city ain't cleaning up the yard down there. They'll have a garage, cause the garage building over the roof still laying on the ground. Talking about cars with algae and stuff growing up on them. There's white trucks sitting out there at the police department, and they impound the yard. You got cars sitting over there, old garbage trucks sitting over there parked at the city impoundment where they park their trash trucks at. There's piles of rocks piled up, there's garbage piled out, there's weeds out there standing that tall out there. The trees need to be trimmed up, fence line where they park police cars there. It's all grown up with vines over there. Just like Billy, I got all the pictures out here to show you. Y'all like to sit here and look at them? You said y'all had property right on the corner of what, that Green Street and Hensley Road over there? You said last time I was in there.
Green
Green and Hensley, right? You make that lift, takes you into the bus garage right there for the school bus. All them, that weed and stuff grew up right there. You told me a while back when I was in here that if that's undeveloped property, y'all don't have to clean it, right?
I don't believe I said.
Yeah, you did. Are y'all talking to you about it?
I'm
Said
sorry.
if it's undeveloped property, it don't have to be cleaned.
I don't believe I said that. If I did, I apologize. I don't remember. We will address that.
Oh, yeah, a lot of them need to be addressed. That stuff over there, my question to you, when I came back to this next meeting, said it was undeveloped property, that's the reason why it don't need to be cleaned. Well, if it was undeveloped, now that y'all got it, why is it, when the original owner had that property right there? Why did his land get took from him if it was undeveloped when he had the property? Over there.
I was part of that. I don't know.
Okay, so on that same road, when you go down, instead of making a left on Hensley, you make a right. You follow that road all the way down, come to the stop sign. There's all wooded right there. Them vines, that big round oak trees, something like Tarzan lives back in there. City owns that right there too. It's not cleared up over there. But I guess it's undeveloped, but that land was taken from somebody else who didn't clean their property up. So why is it? Go ahead.
I wasn't part of that property issue. You know, I know that you mentioned that it's been months since the hurricane hit.
Over 100 days.
We still haven't had a fence repaired yet.
And got what?
We're still, this council, we're still working on our stuff.
Okay.
My fence is still down at the police department. We haven't had it fixed yet.
Okay.
So we're still working on
There's blue tarps in the city, sir, have you
it.
noticed?
Yes,
There's what?
there's still
Blue
tarps on
tarps.
houses. You know, my house,
There's a tarp on
I
the
can't get a contractor to give me a quote right now because there's so much work they can't get to.
Okay.
So we're still working, just like everybody else in this community is still working.
Well, the garbage trucks ain't going around doing their job now.
Which garbage trucks?
Trash trucks pick up trash outside the road. That stuff been on the side of the road long before the storm even hit.
That they're going around.
Well, I can
Okay.
answer
If
that.
they are, they ain't going around our neighborhood. I ain't
Okay,
seen
I
none.
can answer that.
Go ahead.
As you're aware, we have I call it the FEMA trucks that were picking up
Oh, you
storm
ain't the one
debris.
going around making fence tearing up people's property.
Okay, I have nothing to do with
I
those.
know, go ahead.
Okay, but our trash trucks, we were not picking that stuff up because we were doing other work that needed to be done because of the manpower. But in the last 2 weeks, we have started picking up junk items like TVs and the garbage people are throwing by the road instead of putting it in their garbage cans. We are picking that stuff up. We've started picking up the small piles because people are cleaning their yards, you know, like they do yearly. We are working on that.
Ain't
And-
damn funny, which that must be a ghost fleet, cause I don't see
Okay.
nothing out there. There's still trash everywhere.
We also, well, and there's gonna be, because when there's a storm, it took us 6 to 8 weeks to make a circle of the city as it is. We're a small crew and they do the best they can.
That's it.
And they're out there riding the whole city and
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can ride off this Perry is getting. so
Perry
far
looks
behind
better. Perry looks better than it's looked in a very long time. I've rode these streets because these FEMA trucks are finishing up and I've rode several streets and it looks better than it's looked a very long time.
I mean, it looked good from the storm, it looked good since before the storm.
Before and after.
Besides neighborhood.
But these neighborhood, a lot of people are putting their garbage that could be put in their garbage can, they're just throwing their garbage on the right of way. People need to take responsibility for their right of ways and clean up. We have people that walk around and pick up garbage. I've seen a gentleman he walked Thomas Stamps Lane all down Jefferson Street and was walking down Church Street picking up trash the other day. It takes us all to help our community.
Like I said, right there's been doing it for years.
Right here.
But everybody
Go
needs to
notice.
take respect the property.
Just give us a,
Right.
Well, it ain't
be,
about the
be a
patience.
little patient.
It ain't about patience, man, Shirley. When you got Bruce Griffin going around harassing people like he does me, when there's a loaded log truck carrying 80,000-90,000 pounds up and down Church Street, and you still got to see the sign poorly in a poor spot because they've been trapped to the truck driver. I watched the man turn on Church Street the other day coming from South 19, he was like he was heading north. When he made that turn, right where y'all got that sign sitting way back in that parking lot, when that man was making his turn, he was looking back in the mirror trying to see where his trailer was tracking at. By the time that trailer got behind his tractor, when he got straightened out, that sign was already halfway down the side of his trailer right there. So my thing is, the signs are in poor areas and all that. But y'all want to come at me saying that my trucks are tearing up the roads and all that right there? No, it's not. When you got 80,000-90,000 pounds potatoes rolling down the roads on the daily, tearing down Mr. Herbert's fence over there, clipping light poles, breaking light poles and all that right there. Who they gonna blame for that right there then? Well, they ain't got my truck down. Y'all got city workers sitting up there at the housing guard over there, sitting around all day long out there.
Are you talking about the super puffs?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you go down Church Street,
I see them down there.
there's a no through trucks there and there's another one before you get to Bryant Street to turn left. We can't help those truckers not following the rules. And the cops are on them all the time.
We can't put signs on DOT right away either.
Right, they won't.
We
allow
can't
us.
put signs up to prohibit them
The
from turning.
sign down there by the stop sign, what the one I'm talking about, ain't that your property right there, in that grassy area, cause that's on your right of way.
Which end you talking about?
Right there where Derek King, when you turn in, by the little hump,
They
little
put
grass
one
spot.
on
there,
grass.
you get the Derek King sign up there.
We put one there and then there's another one before you get to Bryant Street. There's two.
So-
So we
Y'all got
placed
one
it,
down there, but it's almost a half.
We've got one down there, we've got one right Bryant Street unless they've knocked it down to, but I'll
Don't
go
see
back.
them, they just in a bad spot.
You know, I got one
I
second.
mean, we're doing the
hold on,
best.
there's too many people talking.
Just hold on a second. We're getting, what do you need us to do?
What I need y'all to do,
What y'all need us to do?
to back off, get your code enforcement back off people who's out there trying to actually do something, make a living and all that. We got people who's out here trying to make a living. This man right here trying to make it hard on people to park vehicles. Like this man right here having to move all these vehicles and stuff. Me been parking trucks, next year it'll be 28 years, but I've been parking trucks on Church Street, ain't never had no problem. So this whole thing come in about somebody being complaining on me is a lie. Because I ain't a millionaire like this man back over here, but I've been done spent thousands on helping people around my community and all that. Whether it be giving out free food and stuff like that, doing fireworks shows for kids and stuff, because it seems like when the city do their funding and all that, they send stuff down to Steinhatchee. I mean, who is Steinhatchee? People in here ain't gonna drive, you know what I'm saying, way down to Steinhatchee, go down and look, carry their kids all the way down to Steinhatchee to look at fireworks. But that's funny.
No, no.
The city's not giving any money to Steinhatchee.
Well, y'all seem to be funding fireworks and stuff down there. Why they can't hardly have no fireworks around here? They walk the blue moon, they have fireworks there. Fire.
We're not
Down there at the
paying for
airport.
them.
Hold on, the city's not funding any of that. We're not, seriously, I mean, if you find where we are, I'd love to see it, I really.
Okay. So when this man right here, he's supposed to be a code enforcer, say he's supposed to go around and enforce jobs and enforce people's properties and all that, why ain't he going around and enforcing what the city's behind on these stuff? I understand y'all say y'all behind on him and all that right and everything, but still, why is he making the city? I mean, if you're gonna set an example, be the example. You want people to clean up their own backyard, clean your own backyard first.
I
You
can't
clean your
disagree
yard
with
up,
it.
then
I
you
can't
gotta
disagree
argue
on
how you want the stuff to be clean.
I can't disagree with you.
I mean, cause I don't know which side they play the red left on, but you can just take a slow, you can be traveling like in the Matrix and you will find all kind of violations all over here.
Well, I
You
don't
got
know
vines.
violations.
You got city signs right here covered in vines right here. You got houses that are literally falling down. You got a woman live down the road out there. She's got garbage with grass, that house, her front yard right there. You go down there to
The lady that lives on Reddick Road down there, she called the city enforcer to come down there because she's got little young kids going there smoking dope in the house. 11, 12 o'clock at night, she can hear them out there laughing. You see lighters flickering around the home. They don't even have power to it. Grass is die high, trash everywhere, windows busted out of it. But when she called the city, the code enforcement, they sent Bruce Griffin down there. This woman is Marty Tompkins' mother-in-law. Her name is Sandra Roberts. She called down there. Been doing it for the past 6 months. Every time they send that man down there, he don't want to do his job down there. He gets rude with the woman, told her, don't tell me how to do my job. And I know she ain't lying because he done told me that before on the telephone. Just like he went over there and cussed Corona out, the man that owns the choo-choo store right there. So y'all, yeah, I do agree that y'all got a code enforcer who's out of line and all that. So if somebody wants to happen to jump on this man, then y'all may want to lock somebody up for simply defending themselves or feel like they're being violated or disrespected and everything. Now, respect is a two-way street. You can't give respect and expect not to get it back. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give it in order to get it. I mean, this man is going around cussing people and all that, and coming on this guy's right his property and stuff instead of knocking on the door, announcing himself and all that. Who's to say because he comes in there in plain uniform, they don't think he's in there trying to steal something, jump on this man or shoot and kill this guy just to find out he's a code enforcer. So what are they gonna do about this man right here?
We gotta think about this. I mean, we can't do anything tonight. I mean, it's a personnel issue that we understand where you're coming from. You gotta tell us about it.
John and Jay.
But it's gotta come from, it's gotta take care of it.
Same way with the sidewalks and everything. Ain't sidewalks supposed to be wheelchair accessible?
Or I know, yeah.
Sharon and Telecom. They've been talking for the longest, putting up street lights on the sidewalk from from the time you come off Church Street all the way down to Highway 30, and that cuts off down there at Plantation Road. And you started getting people getting hit and almost killed. They had somebody got ran over the other night down there about a few weeks ago. Well, it might have been a month ago now.
Can I make a suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
You're pointing out a lot of issues that the city may or may not need to address. Can you make a list? Just
Well,
make
not
a
a list, I
list
just happen to
and
read
turn
it
it in, because that way we can follow up on it, okay? Because you're taking up a lot of our time tonight on
Hey,
issues that we
That's the
can't.
reason why I got put on the agenda, so I
I
can speak my
understand,
mind. Right,
but
okay?
even on the
There's
agenda,
been
your
10
time
people
is,
come up here, done talked a little bit longer than I have. But
even
you
on
later
the,
than we had it out last time I was up here. I'm trying to respect you tonight.
even on the agenda, time is supposed to be limited. I would appreciate if you would make a list of your complaints so that we can get them to the proper people and they can be addressed.
If they don't get addressed, it's gonna be 6 months to a year down the road.
Even better, as you see a violation, call it in. Don't wait to get a list. Let us address them as they come up.
Y'all find mine for uniform parked trucks that ain't even in the roadway, and then y'all find mine in plain open sight. I see
I'm
y'all
not
there.
gonna try your case in the council meeting because you're gonna have an opportunity before a magistrate if you want. I'm not gonna try your case here. This is not the place for you to argue your case.
So you said that magistrate will charge the people how much a day?
It's a fine per day depending on what she decides.
So will the magistrate fine y'all too, if y'all in violation?
I've never had that issue.
What you mean you have an issue? I'm just trying to find out. You say you ain't never had no issue with somebody coming to y'all telling y'all to go in the wrong?
This is a completely argumentative discussion. I'm not gonna address anything else with you because there's always another turn of the page. It's an argument that you wanna get into. I just told you that I'm not gonna try your case in a council meeting. There's an opportunity for you to do this in a magistrate hearing if it goes that far. That's all I'm telling you. There's no need for us to argue in this meeting. There's business at hand. There's an agenda in place. You voiced your concerns. We're gonna address it.
You have a packet of paper there in your hands, pictures on it, what they are. Would you mind just making a list up for us?
Yeah, you wanna look at them?
I mean, would you mind just making a list up? I mean, it's gonna take.
That's all the city waste station with a broke window right there hanging out of it. I mean, there ain't nothing getting done about that stuff right there, but y'all can go around and
We have
tell people how to fix their property.
Y'all can,
y'all want them? You can have a whole 243 of y'all $6.
They've been giving these to us.
You can have them.
Okay.
Just, yeah, we'll get them when we're. We'll collect them. There's public record now.
Appreciate you bringing it to our attention. We need to address things. We will.
All right.
All right, man, thank you. Agenda item 6D, council directed, excuse me, skip one. Sorry, Danny. Just gonna put it in. Agenda item 6C, Danny Collins, with Big Energy to address the council to discuss new street lights and council to take any action.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hello.
So first off, I'll let you know we've been working on this issue. Mayor brought it to my attention that streetlights were an issue. Penny brought it to my attention. John brought it to my attention. We didn't know how big the problem was. And quite honestly, I need to explain how streetlights work with Duke Energy so you can understand where we are and what we're doing. So unlike a meter that we have what's known as AMI meters. They're meters that talk. You're out of power. As long as the communication system's working, we know you're out of power now. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before we had those AMI meters, the only way we knew you were out of power at your home, they called us and said, I'm out of power. And we would send a truck out to restore power. Streetlights are still like that in most areas in Florida. If a streetlight is out, we need somebody to tell us that streetlight is out so we know to go out there and do it. We have between, I'd just say rough estimate about 1,500 streetlights in the city of Perry on your account that are Duke Energy lights. All 1,500 of those, we need to be told which ones are out, which ones are not. Hurricanes are very different creatures. No two hurricanes are the same. We've had a lot of practice with hurricanes over the last several years. Unfortunately, we've had some Hurricane Irma that affected us up here, Hurricane Hermine, Matthew a little bit. Those were here. They had Hurricane Michael to the west. That was up here. We had to rebuild all of our systems in the city of Mexico Beach and St. Joe Beach. Like 99% of our entire system was gone. What y'all experienced was closer to that than in terms of damage to our system than a Hurricane Hermine, which was bad. But what y'all went through was closer to Michael otherwise. So for Michael, what we did is we rebuilt the system from scratch. We tried to put it back as close to the way it was as we could. And then for months and months after, we went back and fixed things. Sometimes we put a pole where it shouldn't have been. In the case of Mexico Beach, you couldn't tell where houses used to be and where they weren't. Sometimes we put poles in driveways and had to come back and move them. Underground services failed because they got inundated. Salt water, we got all kinds of issues. Streetlights were part of that. We had to put all new streetlights in. Here, we didn't know we had an issue with a lot of streetlights missing immediately after the storm. Had we known that, we would have treated it more like Mexico. So our resolution for this, our plan, which I don't know if anybody noticed them out yesterday and today, there's a contractor crew known as Powertown. They're installing what we call smart nodes on every streetlight in the city of Perry. These are nodes that act like our AMI meters that talk back to the company. So going forward, we will know when the streetlights are out, which ones are working. And this is real new. So you'll have some ability. I remember several years back, the trunk or treat downtown. I got a call asking if we could turn some lights out so it'd be a little darker downtown. We had to send a guy in a truck to turn the lights off, disconnect it. The next day, go out and reconnect it. It's time consuming. We'll now have the ability to kind of call us and say, hey, we want this light out for 6 hours. We shut that light off. So that's the beginning. This is all new technology. So the crews are installing those for the rest of the year. They'll be here working until they're all installed. They're working, from what I was told, 5/10. So every day during the week, for 10 hours a day, they'll be installing it. Like I said, they've got about 1,500 of them to work on. At the same time that they are installing this, anytime they go to a spot and there's a light that's not there, or it's not working, they're writing it down. And then we're creating a work order for a separate crew that will do nothing but work on getting those lights up. Because again, we don't know how many are not there. It could be 50, could be 100, could be 500. We're not sure until we go in and start doing it. I do know that I talked to 2 of our linemen today. One did 15 lights himself today, the other did 10 lights today. So we're making great progress, but I appreciate your patience as we work through this. Like I said, this was a lot closer to Hurricane Michael than Hurricane Hermine, and we were not aware of the streetlight issue until Kenny called me 2 months ago.
That's because Ward said so.
Well, I want to personally thank you because you don't know the headache of when streetlights are out, what I have to go through. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I just reported to get, or the state, you know, they send me their list and they just sent me a 3-page list and I've been reporting to the energy. Which a lot of them are our lights that I know Kenny's been working.
Well, that's another story.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I can address that as well, like to. So I don't have as good a story yet, but I need to explain the difference. So there are city-owned lights downtown that you have to meter to us. We sell you electricity to run those lights, just like we sell electricity to run the school or anything else that's metered. We have some limitations on what we can take over. So if you have streetlights and you said, we don't want to, you take over Duke Energy for the light business. We have a restriction on the cable that serves those also has to be out. We can replace the lights, but that's what we run into. I talked about this with the city 6-7 years ago about replacing those lights. It's the cable. We will not take lights that are cabled with somebody else's cable because we can't. It's not ours. We can't be sure that it's good, that we won't be repairing it. So to take them over, we would have to rip up sidewalks with our own cable, and it's just not cost effective. So there's another option that we didn't have 6-7 years ago. This is new. This is to treat it as a non-regulated thing, or a separate arm of Duke Energy that acts more like a regular old private business. They can do things that Duke Energy, Florida regulated utility, cannot do. One of those things is streetlights. The trick is we don't want to have to replace all your poles that you have downtown. That's going to get really costly. So our lighting, non-regulated lighting person, Jerry Rose, is negotiating right now. I just talked to him when I emailed you. He's negotiating with all the vendors we work with to try to find options and pricing that we can present to you that does not involve changing out the poles. The good news is on the non-regulated side, we can offer you some long-term pricing that doesn't involve writing a big check to pay for all these new lights at one time, which is the goal, to make it so that it's cost effective for you. That's why it's taking time. It's working with all of our vendors to try to figure this out. It's complicated, I'll be honest with you.
Everything's complicated in the world.
Now, if you had a big check for $10 million, you can get whatever you want.
Have you got one?
I do not, not right now.
Danny,
One thing that we've been concerned about is the amount of illumination that we're getting from the lights that we have, which is reduced to what we used to have years ago. So when you're replacing the bulbs, can you put the bulbs in that are going to give us more light than what we're getting now?
If there are specific locations that aren't bright enough for you, y'all just need to tell me which ones those are, and we will get you a brighter light. That is not a problem at all. Just need to know where, and we'll upgrade it. The cost of the LED lights right now is pretty good. The low level LED lights, the rental cost on them is $6 or $7 a month. So if you go up to a higher wattage, you may be going to $8 for that one light. So it's, we can upgrade a lot of lights and it won't cost the city a whole lot of money.
It's a rental, not a purchase.
Correct. It's a rental.
Is that what we have now?
Yes, ma'am.
that was my question.
Okay.
I just think hard sometimes. Did you understand me?
Yes, ma'am. We love streetlights, so you tell us where you want them, and we're happy to put them.
I thought when you upgraded here, maybe Bob was still here. But we were supposed to have about 7 years ago, yeah. Y'all said that these were brighter than we had.
They are.
So,
Underground.
So downtown.
Well, the downtown's gonna,
change too, so.
yeah, and they're talking to you about some of the antique looking ones that'll have the lights shining down more. instead of up.
Yeah, one of the tricks to the flats, the LEDs that are flat, as opposed to the old high pressure sodium, which kind of hang down like a cobra head, is what they call them. From a distance, you stand there and you look, you see that bulb on the cobra head. You see it hanging down from a distance, so you see the light bulb. The flat LEDs, you don't see the light bulb from a distance, so it doesn't look like there's any light coming off of it. You see what the light hits, but when you get under it and you see it, 100% it's brighter than the high pressure sodium. I did get it off. In all honesty, I heard towns that complained when we installed the LEDs that they were too bright because they were different. So I've heard both. And a lot of it just depends on the location and what people were used to. But if there is a location that you want a brighter light, that is not a problem. We're happy to accommodate.
So, Danny, are the crews working off a master list where lights used to be?
Yes.
Okay, because there's poles completely missing.
We're identifying that.
Yeah, you can't give a number on something that's not there.
So I was just wondering, would it be beneficial for us to give a list of where they used to be when they call in to complain, or is there something that you already working?
So you can, if people are calling it, and let me back up a little bit. So Penny first reached out to me. I asked our guys, hey, do we have a problem in here? There are a lot of lights missing. You getting a lot? And no, they weren't getting any work orders on lights. So we didn't know that there was an issue. I think people started to notice as the debris started to get picked up, and then they started looking around and going, oh, there used to be a light there, used to be a light there. So it's kind of come in a late wave. So the amount of work orders for getting lights is hitting us pretty heavy right now, which is fine. We'll get them all. Continue collecting, continue to submit them. This crew's going to be working, I'd say, till the end of this year. So the next really 3 weeks. They're working until they get all those smart nodes in. They're going to get a bunch of the lights that we missed. Anything that y'all send in, our local crews will do. Anything that the Power Town crews identify, they're going to turn it over to an ALS contractor. That's the name of the company. ALS will come up the end of each week. They're going to get a report for here all the lights that we found this week. ALS will come up the next week, start working. So they will stagger. They will not wait until the end of the year before all that work.
Yeah, I saw a crew today, and they did a couple of lights about.
So if we had a request for road to be, the lights to be bright, how would we go about that? Just tell Spinny them, or
if your staff you want to get to the staff and they'll just let me know there's a location. Even better if you have a specific goal number on it.
Yeah, they can let me know, and I know how to get them on your all site, and if I know the location, and I can find the phone number that way.
Perfect.
They have a very good site. Yeah.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Down 6E. Or D, I'm sorry. M.
Put M&M to this.
M&M.
You can use it.
M&M. Okay, agenda item 6M. Council to discuss budget amendment for $50,000 parks for disc golf at Lockridge Park. The disc golf, is that right?
yeah.
For one to be designed right, a good look on what it is. If we want to throw one together, you can do it a lot cheaper.
And we already have one that got thrown together, and then people put their little brothers in the baskets and stuff and they form up, so.
Anyway.
Before we start, could you tell me what parts other than Lockridge already have this equipment?
The sports complex has it. I think Heritage Park over by the nursing home has it, and those are the only two that I know that went through it. Rosehead Park don't supposed to try to run for it.
So the nursing home, there's a park at the nursing home.
Not that.
Not that.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring.
The water
Yeah, one part
Yeah.
water.
Old high school.
But are all of those, receptacles still operating by the water plant there? Because it looked like torn up.
They're tore up.
I mean, they're tore up, it still hadn't been refurbished or anything like that for a while. They were there and were placed
Right,
there.
I know they
Now,
were.
now the exercise equipment is more up to date and it's being used there. The exercise equipment there, they got some pull-up bars and some push-up bars that's going around that part. That's fairly new, I would guess. But either way, for the sports complex in the county, I talked with Mr. Crimson about the things they have there. Everything there is fairly new. So at the Lockridge Park, there's nothing whatsoever as far as any equipment or anything no more than walk around the park itself. And like I said, when I come there earlier, as far as the traffic that's coming through that park now, it's almost triple from when I first started, with people coming out there doing their health and wellness. And then again, the same guy that I talked to that's at the sports complex, that some come from Live Oak, I seen some from Mayo. It's a group of about 10 or 15 that's locally that only go to that park. And they said that if the park in Lockridge did have that they would come, and other people would come to Lockridge Park also to do the exercise and enjoy the discourse there also.
I think John also received a lot of letters to support this. And we don't have to be 50,000.
Do you know what the county spent?
No, but Ms. Crimson sent me some blueprints that I gave Mr. Brown there of the some of the equipment that they put there. So I didn't actually get a money amount, but she did give me some blueprints of some equipment that they put there.
Do you think Longridge Park is big? Because I play at Spirit of Swanee or the Heritage Park in Swanee County.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Swanee Park's huge. I mean, that's.
From me walking around the sports complex, it's about 1.25 miles to walk around there, and that's a double the size as Lockridge Park. And I think I've seen something like 17, 18 holes there. So it doesn't have to be as big as a sport complex, maybe 9 to 10 holes there.
Well, that's what Heritage has is a 9-hole, and of course you use 2 different paths
Right.
to make your 18.
So that Lockridge Park being half the size, I said maybe 9 to 10 holes there that's going around, and it's only like 4 corners at the park that you can place at each corner where a person can stop and do a simple push-up or a simple pull-up bar. I mean, it doesn't take much. I think it's the question would be if you have people in the community that's engaging at that park, and the more things that you have for them to engage in, even for the kids in the community to engage in, the more the park will be used. So maybe 9 to 10 holes at Lockridge would be sufficient because it's half the size, and then the exercise equipment. I mean,
because people like a course, just like
right,
stick.
Right.
You know, you want to have trees to go around, and you want interesting holes because you don't want everything to be straight.
Right.
You know, you want interesting nuances.
Well, as you come into Lockridge Park, if you go back in the area that's clear, that's behind the park, the large oak tree there.
And then the trees behind it.
And the trees behind the park, they go all the way around and come back out the front towards the highway. So there's enough of a course. It's bigger than Heritage Park, let's put it that way. I mean, the park that's by the, what's it called? Yeah, the water fence. So it's bigger than that. So I'm quite sure the 9 holes there, 10 holes there will be sufficient to get a good game in.
Yeah, because that's like, that one's almost like 2 par. That's really short.
Right.
So is it safe to say we're discussing 6M and 6N together?
Yes.
Okay.
One for
We're talking about doing a budget amendment for $70,000 between the 2 of them for disc golf and exercise equipment.
Correct.
The Paul was telling me that you would even go out and help be the teacher.
Well, yeah, I know how to play. I mean, other people,
yeah. And then we have a lot of people coming off of 98 to stop saying Lockridge Park.
And I think
to walk the trash, to do whatever. We need more stuff.
Yeah, well, just like Tom Brown Park in Tallahassee is a big disc golf. You know, you put the little brown sign out there so people know that it's there. And you get it on the disc golf registry or something.
I mean, I've seen multiple visitors that say that was on the disc registry that was traveling through cross country or whatever. And as they pull the disc course up on the map, they would stop and play that course just to say that they played, this course, that course, and keep scoring and leave their scores and do their traffic. So you got traffic or visitors coming through that's gonna stop and play it also. But for me, it's the same, for me, it's just as simple as, is the, city council for something that's gonna bring the community together, something that's gonna get people outside, something that's gonna get people out there interacting. And the more people you have out there interacting, the less people you have out there doing riffraff. But you got people out there that are actually doing something positive. So for me, it's just aspects of put something in the community that's gonna be used by the community. If the money's there in the budget and it's theirs, it should be used for that. If it's not, and then as soon as the money get in the budget that can be used for it, it just needs to be done sooner than later. And then, like I said, the second part of it, if I'm at Lockridge Park doing my exercise and I want to do something different, I have to go to the other park to do anything different for his body weight and exercise that. So I should be able to say, I'm gonna go to Lockridge Park and work out this week, get the same exercise that I'm gonna go get at any other park and do the same exercise there as far as my workout and my routine I do on the outside.
We just ain't got a definitive number of what it's gonna cost.
I want to get a general consensus before we keep on putting time and effort into it. But yeah, we definitely can.
I make that motion.
So,
Just. Okay, where's the money gonna come from is the question. Motion amendment to bring it from where to this, where's it coming out of?
Super tough money, gas revenue.
My question is, how long is it gonna be before we have to replace it or repair it?
Just like any other park.
yeah,
If you go to another park,
site
get out there and it's tore up. Like I said, the park out there by the I keep forgetting it, but it's been tore up for years, right? Yeah, it's been tore up for years. So it's just like any other park, normal wear and tear. You got bad juvenile kids that's gonna tear it up.
Yeah.
So that's just normal. So it's just gonna be like any other normal park.
we gonna do it every week with Rosie.
I thought
We can't even have a bathroom
thought we were putting that super money in the CD savings.
or a treasury management financial.
Let's take it from reserve.
Do we decide not to do that?
No one's called me back. If we're working yet, that was the last directive to put it in the treasury management or CD.
We have two options. We can take it from reserve. Off of the operating.
We probably do.
Yeah, we have not spent. Okay, it's been a motion.
I'd vote on each one separately.
The thing is, that we still haven't decided where it's going.
Operating.
Is there money?
I believe so.
Believe
Like I said, it's taking all of our capital outlay this year. I believe there's still some left. Or she's got some expensive trash trucks and stuff. And those were ARPA to begin with, yeah. But if not, we would have reserves, So, we could cost down, I could probably call some people that could have just gone anyway. And then the exercise equipment, we could just ask the health department if they can redo that bid.
We redid that bid. I mean, it didn't fall through last time, right? From my understanding, it didn't fall through last time. This might have been the second time that we tried the bid. So if you keep going through getting the same money from the same, them not giving them, quite sure if they have it, they would. So with me, like I said, this is about my 4th time coming here and asking for something from the community. And like I said, I feel like if it's gonna enhance the community, if it's gonna do something for the kids, and it might get toward sooner or later, like the rest of the stuff. But at least you put an opportunity somewhere that nothing's not there to give somebody the opportunity to do something positive. And then the second part of that is, if you don't do it, then for me, it shouldn't be any other upgrades for any other park in the city without doing anything to that park that somebody's been asking for 4 or 5 or 6 times. So that means any park, from what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
what upgrades have been done to other parks?
I'm not saying that there are. I'm just saying if in the future that some money comes up and it goes to entertain any other park and not Lockridge Park, that would be sufficient of fair.
So Lockridge has to have first dibs on any improvements.
Excuse me? No. What I'm saying is, I've been to the other. No. What I'm saying is, I'm coming here and asking for something at Lockridge Park, that some of the other parks have already had and money been spent on. And if there is no money now, and money comes available in the future, and something happens for those parks, and I'm not gonna be here to know, I just know when I go around it, I can see that this been fixed, this been replaced, and nothing whatsoever is done to Lockridge Park, then I would say that's not fair to Lockridge Park. So that's a decision y'all gotta make. I mean, if you go in the budget, and I hear Miss Shirley says there's money in the reserves, and I say him saying something comes from Super Bowl money, and she's saying maybe we can do this for this money. So for me, I'm hearing that the money is there. Now, whether it be $70,000 or whether it be $20,000, just so it's safe and efficient. So I'm hearing that. And if you're asking where the money is going to come from, and he said, well, let me sit down with 2 or 3 members and we can come up with something to put something at the park to enhance the community, then it shouldn't be that big a deal. And I don't know, because I don't know the monetary fund, but I know it should be sufficient. I know I come in, we had a grant from the health department. We asked for a grant from the representative in Tallahassee. We've done multiple things to get money. And yeah, so if the money's there, and all it takes is a couple people to get together and say, okay, the money's not there. I'm quite sure if it's not there, everybody agree that it's not there. But if it is there, then the conversation should be, how do we get it there and what it's going to take? And it might not take $70,000. I don't know, but I know she thinks that this course would be great out there. I think the exercise equipment would be great out there. I talked to people in the community that said it'd be great out there. So I don't see the bigger problem there myself.
I've heard proponents for the exercise equipment. I haven't heard too many for the disc golf. I don't know if we want to do the exercise equipment now, wait 6 months or a few months, come back and look at it.
We do it both, John.
Ken?
Because you're looking at $70,000.
Well, we just,
Well, my concern is we're heading into uncertain times financially.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we really are. I mean, whether anybody wants to believe it or not, we are.
But again, though,
And
$70,000 is not going to change in uncertain times. I mean, what's going to come is going to come.
what if you get a 90-10 grant and 70,000 equals 700,000?
I don't understand. What's the 90-10 grant?
If you get a grant where you're 90% of your grantee gives you 90% of the money, you got to match it with 10% of your own money.
Well, just let me put it this way. Why don't you review the books between John, what's your name, man? Penny, and everybody here review the books, and if you say there is no money in the reserve, and you say there is no money coming from Super Puff, there is no money coming from anywhere that we can draw money from, then it's obvious to me that you can't do it. But if you come through and you say, well, we have an extra $30,000, or even if it's $10,000, whatever that amount is, you can figure it out and come in and say, let's do something for the park. Right. And then if you say we can't do it now, when you say times are doing bad, 6 months later when time's doing great, come back 6 months from later and put something in the park.
These disc golf things that I don't think disc golf song, what it's called.
Baskets?
Is that what they're called? Disc golf baskets. I wonder, ones that are heritage, are they repairable or are they just totally run?
I believe we have repair like chance to get that far quite yet. But I believe that we probably could.
But these were home, they were made by Chester.
I don't know that route.
I do know that.
I have confidence I can probably go out there and figure out.
But those are not the quality that you want. You want something like Spirit Swati's got.
But still, I mean, they can be replaced.
Those can be.
But even with that, we're talking about Lockridge Park.
Okay, what I was getting at is they could be taken from where they're not.
No. Not take something that's tore up and it has to be repaired.
I'm talking about fixing them.
No, you're not gonna take them that's been there for a while and put them in a new park.
Hey, I'm just throwing all ideas out.
No. I think the bottom thing was just check your reserve and kind of see.
I'm not saying move junk around. I'm just saying, hey, if it's repairable, it can be put back in A1 condition.
But you wouldn't move it to another
We just
park.
had a situation like that with the city park equipment. Was perfectly fine, and we got rid of it.
City park equipment was fine.
The city, it was perfectly fine, and we got rid of it.
The playground equipment?
Yes.
It wasn't prime.
I understand it was perfectly, but it was not nothing wrong with it for us to take it and sell it, take it to the recycling company and get money for it. I've had workers that have come to me and told me that we should not have thrown that stuff away.
cause we literally, I've got pictures, it was, the metal was so bad, they were falling, it was sharp pieces that
It was.
it was
it's like
dangerous.
20 So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that equipment was.
Man,
He had to fix the bridge was, and a nice little lady, nice young lady called. She didn't want anybody to get hurt, it was literally hanging on by one bolt, it had rusted and broke and was hanging.
Yeah, that stuff
But
ain't
I-
lasted as long as it used to, back when we had solid steel, it used to last forever, it's not solid steel anymore.
okay, and we're talking about this now.
Mhm.
Now, when John and I, when we put in for the grant, we did everything we could, we took their initiative. 2 grants we tried to do, keep the city from having this. Because we knew how hard it would be against. And Love Bridge. Now, for the discourse, you can spend 20,000. It don't have to be 50,000. According to what John gave me, was from 20 to 50,000. So we could spend 20,000 on this and 20,000 exercise equipment. Let's quit doing this, you all.
I'd like to get a price.
We
I'd
do
like to
it
get a
all
price.
the time,
I was just looking at what was,
you know, but we do it all the time. When it comes to stuff on that side of town, we go through this.
That has nothing to do with it.
Yes, ma'am.
The disc golf has nothing. Put refrigerators and stoves.
It does have.
I mean, I know. what you're saying.
So let's
Yeah,
do
you
it,
do know.
let's do it this way, let's do it this way, so.
No,
No, I just
we
want to
gotta-
finish it, no, I just want to finish it, okay, go ahead.
You could spend 20,000 on the disc golf, or 25,000. 50,000 is the high mark. We don't
50,000
need
got
them,
you, 50,000 got you a professionally designed,
right?
nice sign.
Top of the top of the line.
It's still a lot of work we have to do with the concrete and all that.
You have to do concrete pads.
Which would be very nice. But if we're gonna keep differing over this,
well, we got a motion on the table, we don't wanna, what exactly is a motion? I mean, where's the money coming from? Or is it just kind of up in the air?
I don't even, we don't have a budget amendment written. This was just a general consensus. If we brought one to you next meeting, would you approve a budget amendment? This is for us to talk about how much and where it would come from.
Well, it don't depend on a lot of.
Let me get some prices for people that know current disc golf. How to, and then we'll probably look at the ARPA reserves. And the exercise too, sure. We could just,
Yeah.
because we know that the exercise was the grant we just did a year ago.
We found
Was that
something.
20 grand?
This is 20, it's 1,900 installed, right? This one's, we didn't like the colors on it. They only came in one color, just came in a bunch of different colors. It's 27,000 installed.
27,000.
Yeah, it's cheaper, it's 20,000. And it's basically the same equipment, I would imagine.
You don't hold us.
Could you also come back with that board?
This is with,
I'm sorry, there's like too many, there's too many conversations there. Bill.
We'll get a price and come up with a budget resolution, budget number.
Resolution, thank you.
Because at first
Do
he
we
asked
need
me to
to-
do
do
one, I
we
said,
need
well,
to
let's
vote?
figure out what we're doing first for how much and where it's coming.
Okay, do we need to vote
No,
on you all to bring this
I
back?
have my instructions, I'll,
You had a motion on the table.
It
Now,
wasn't
second.
it wasn't a resolution. We didn't need a motion.
I'm saying, there was a motion on the table, you need to do something with it.
Can we get the motion reset?
You table it.
You definitely want that.
It's
You want this exercise equipment professionally installed by them. We don't
Yeah.
need to be doing that. So where we do that.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all, we don't want to go cheap there.
No.
You can go cheap with the desk and we can figure some of that out. We don't want to do it here.
And with direction, maybe get 2 or 3 options on a self-designed course, middle of the line, self-designed or professional disc golf. And just kind of make a decision and go out for bids after you decide whether or not you're going to spend, instead of trying to come up all of it. I think decide what you want to go after and then decide based off the bids at the end.
And we might be able to find someone that comes speak that does disc golf and we can, advise you or something.
But just, I'm a city resident. I happen to work for the city, but I also live in the city. If you're gonna put in a park with disc golf, make it an attraction so that people won't come.
Yeah.
And
Do
the
it
best
right.
work you can, make sure it's professional.
Do it right.
Yes. Do it right.
I'm worried about this flying across 98.
But then that's an issue, and that's something we have to address in the design phase. That concerns me.
What about 98?
Just flying
It
across.
is flying across that.
Well, I guess it's only 100 foot deck.
John, you didn't think of this before?
We've talked
We need to
about it.
handle it.
We've talked.
The way you design the course, how you handle that.
Now you're thinking,
We talked about it's just the way you design it.
Right.
It's
Right, so
Or if someone has a staff development.
So next
they're
meeting,
gonna get together, figure out something, when we're ready, we'll bring it back on the agenda.
sure. Ms. Penny, you have something about next meeting or what?
Sure. I mean,
Or whenever.
I've talked to these people several years ago. I mean, my husband was really into it, so yeah. I still have some phone numbers.
Great, just touch base on the,
Okay, so
at the next meeting in January,
yeah, to see if she's got enough information. I mean, or she had it.
If at all possible, we're heading into Christmas, so there's gonna be a lot of people off work, so. Who knows?
but as far as the information and on there.
Sorry?
Once they get their numbers together and it fits into y'all budget of where the money's gonna come from, and the money's there for it to come from, it's gonna be approved. Is that what I'm hearing? I'm hearing you say go out and research it again and bring it back. And then if you bring it back again and I'm not satisfied, then we get to turn it down again. I'm just trying to be clear on what I'm hearing.
I mean, it's a month from now. I imagine we can get.
Can't make no guarantee.
Yeah, they always can turn it down.
We gotta wait and see what it comes back at. I mean, if it's 100,000 instead of.
No.
I'm just saying, if that's what it comes back, and, how can we approve that?
don't bring us back 100,000.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be, I think it.
Well, Miss Penny and Miss Hart and Mr. Hart, I'm sorry, and I really appreciate y'all's time, but I don't been there 4 or 5 times, and I would express the interest in what's gonna happen. So if y'all can come up with a good price that satisfies what the council means, if it comes down and it's $10,000 higher, and then you can go down and get it $10,000 below budget, please work within the budget that's set forth to give them the opportunity to put us some equipment and some stuff out the library park. I would appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Agenda item 6D, council to recognize outstanding citizens and take any action.
We talked about this when we were working on the Oakland Street man cover. Didn't want to do it. You remember that? He came out there, helped John and the crew with water and Gatorade while they were out there working for 3 or 4 days. He just wanted to do something special.
Did we get the right guy?
I don't know.
Because it was a.
They did.
Roger.
So the one that, I'm just gonna say, cause that's who I heard it was Mr. King.
Roger King is who I heard.
Yeah.
We want to give him a nice. Nice. Get it. Outstanding citizen.
So here,
And we want to give one to the next. I said the proud of it.
We appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
no speech.
If we had more citizens like her, we wouldn't have these other.
Well,
She's
Litter bug.
exactly.
I see.
I mean,
Yeah, some more.
Wall Street.
don't put this in fact.
Yeah.
We have 8 more of those. So when you see things or find people.
I'm trying to do this when I was there. And I was never around.
That's nice.
I had one. I just see.
Get with me later.
We gave a plan.
What's his name, Russ? No, we didn't give anything. No, that's what I'm saying. Thank you.
Big question, council. I think I'll just call 5-minute bathroom break.
Go ahead.
Because I'm next.
Are they taking a break then?
Yes.
Well, that's an hour and a half, we are on item 10. Then you'll put it on next start trying.
Right.
There's no double that we're gonna then down.
I'll get you a picture. I'll get you a grab. Hey, I'll get you a grab.
What's that?
Oh, it's about-
I lost a lot of money during the storm. It's just like,
Oh.
Yes, you must.
and actually, a lot.
No, I mean, now.
No, I actually get up top and I was tired. And then this weekend, I was pulled for more and it's raining every day. And I'm like so cold. It's so cold. So I hope they're okay. I said I'm gonna get them before. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You can have another night. Night this day. We still do like regular bags, goodies for the church, and people like wanting oranges, nuts,
And all of.
She does.
She's doing the billing, and I'll be doing accounts payable.
She didn't sign up. I know what you're saying.
So you have to book it?
No.
No, he needs to supervise the account.
But,
Yeah. I think that is, not very good. Yeah, but. Thank you.
Somebody brings us house. This is seafood. This is seafood. I know it would be hard, but about how. It'll probably get harder. The general comments.
We can go back to, come speak back to order. Let's see.
That's extra.
Okay, agenda item 6E, public hearing and final reading of ordinance number 1035. Land use plan amendment 23 01 sanitation investments, parcel number 03103-225. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, relating to an amendment 50 or less acres of land to the future land use plan map of the city of Perry comprehensive plan. Pursuant to an application, LUPMA 23-1, by the property owner of said acreage. Under the amendment, procedures established in section 163.3161, 3163.3248, Florida statutes as amended. Providing for changing the land use classification from residential medium density, less than or equal to 8 dwelling units per acre, to residential high density, less than or equal to 20 dwelling units per acre. To certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Perry, Florida, providing severability, filling ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. This is the final hearing on the property behind DMH Medical Plaza.
Yeah, land use change,
Of the
from medium density to high density for the assisted living facility.
Motion to approve.
Councilmember Ryan?
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodball?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry?
Yes.
Mayor? Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Agenda item 6F, public hearing and final reading of ordinance number 1036, Z-23-01, sanitation investments, parcel number 03-103-025. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, relating to the rezoning of 10 or more contiguous acres of land pursuant to an application Z-23-01 by the property owner of said acreage, amending the official zoning atlas of the city of Perry and development regulations, providing for rezoning from residential conventional single family to RSF2, to residential multiple family RMF2, certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Perry, Florida, providing severability, repealing ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. And it goes with the other
Same thing.
land
Yes,
use
your-
change.
yeah. Your zoning change.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a concern, just a question, I guess, on this. Are we gonna be able to provide water? I mean, that's gonna be a lot of water consumption.
Sorry,
I know.
we're getting there with, well, when we get to my section, we'll talk about water.
Okay.
Councilmember Bryan?
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodball?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry?
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum?
Yes. Agenda item 6G, resolution 2023-29, lead abatement. Resolution of the city of Perry, Florida for lead abatement relating to the state revolving fund loan program. Making findings, authorizing the loan application, authorizing the loan agreement, establishing pledged revenues, designating authorized representatives, providing assurances, providing for conflicts, severability, and effectiveness.
Just to apply for the SRF loan for the lead abatement project. We don't know what all lead we have. They'll have to do a study first. This is gonna be a huge project.
Motion to approve.
So I think we approved it before, but
We-
just had a
yeah,
different
we-
project number.
Yeah, the project number was wrong on one last week.
You did approve this last meeting, it's just the number was wrong for that, and it's a multi-year, multifaceted
This is gonna take a long time.
study, and then different sections of the town that they feel have the stuff to be dug up first, so this will go on for years and slowly get these old lines refurbished, which is what we're after. So this is just ongoing, and it's a real scary number, but the thing is, it's not gonna happen overnight. Gotta get these lines replaced.
It's 125 per year.
That we're currently paying, no, that's what we're currently paying from USDA,
And it's being contracted.
but we're not even there yet.
No, I mean, whatever.
There will be some contracting that,
We
That,
can-
that,
we won't
that
be
part of the
doing-
resolution, they're talking about the
Right,
current.
that's what he said.
Yeah, I know, it was.
So we don't have any idea what it's gonna be
I heard 7 million.
Yeah, they threw a rough number out as.
per year.
No.
Seven million to replace all.
Huh?
7 million to replace all of
Over a decade or something. And then the project will be done and then you start making. Okay. It's in increments and I don't know if this is another one of those 84% forgiveness of it and all that.
that.
They're not gonna give us that amount at one time.
No.
No.
Okay, okay.
It's gonna be, it was studied first and then incrementally, they're gonna start with a section, say like they'll pick downtown first and start
Who pays for the study?
this grant.
That's the point.
This is where we're getting, you gotta get started.
Yeah.
I think at worst, it'll be an 80% grant, 20% low interest, 30-year loan. I think with this one, since they're forcing it down on you, it's gonna be way better terms than that for the city.
I think we're gonna have 10 years to get it done.
Oh, I don't even know, I was just trying to
Read
take,
this.
I don't think they've even talked about a timeline yet.
They've been talking.
It's gotta be.
Well, they
done by-
studied, well, yeah, but once you've started the work, you're okay once you're showing improvement.
Yeah, we got a motion on the table, there is a second.
Councilmember Brian.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull.
Yes.
Councilmember Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6H. Resolution 2023-30, amending the employee benefit policy of the city council of the city of Perry, Florida. Reference the employee manual will be amended by resolution. Okay.
That's that one we talked about last week, changing the employee manual by resolution.
Have a motion, have a second?
Councilmember Brian.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull.
Yes.
Councilmember Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6I, resolution 2023-31, budget amendment, CRA fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. A resolution of the city council amending the budget of the city of Perry, Florida for the fiscal year October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2020.
Okay, it's fine. Well, like every year I put the CRA in there, you all adjourn and become a CRA board and all that. Well, with John being new here and, was looking over everything new and all, and it dawned on us that it expired September 30th of 23, a couple months ago. So it doesn't belong in this current year's budget. And the county, because he put a sentence in there that I don't agree with, the county would definitely have to approve their chucking money in it. Now, if we wanted to keep the CRA going, I don't think it'd be an official CRA. If we want to just put our money in.
So the CRA has expired.
It is expired. And I let Luana know that 2 months ago when I discovered it. And she didn't say like, oh no. So it's 20,000 more they get to keep, 20,000. And we've got 42,000 in the bank still, for the downtown merchants to use it up before somebody else does. So we have a few buildings downtown that aren't painted, and I'd like to see them get painted before it goes away.
And what ended the CRA, just it had a time limit on it, or the city not?
It's sunsetted in 30 years, and I guess they got it in 93. September, and, or probably October 1 of 93, and then it's 30 years ago. Yeah, and that money is designated for use in the downtown. Now, there might have been something in it that, if we didn't use it 3 years, it has to go back. I don't know. I don't really remember, and I don't hear the county asking anything about it, because, like I said, it's 42,000. It certainly improved the downtown. But the people that are using it now, it's just little bits of money, and it's not really doing a whole lot at this point. So it accomplished its purpose. And, cause it had to be capital outlay, but like I said, there's a few downtown businesses that, in my opinion, can use a paint job. Of course, we only split it. 50-50. But people take advantage of it while you, cause when it's gone, it's gone.
So basically, the money that the county had collected for that is going back in the county office, CRA.
It's in our coffers right now. I'd have to read the contract again, and I don't have time right now, but, I don't know if they can get it back or whatever, but it's about last year's collections, about $47,000, so it's not like we've been hoarding it or anything. It's been being used.
Last time that money was used, I went to buy that property, didn't it?
Oh, no.
Was that CRA money? Just to buy
That was
land?
used for that,
Yeah.
and the county building as well as the city building got their awnings done and painting and stuff like that, so we've all improved the downtown with it. But no, we have several merchants that are continuing to use it, improving their brick buildings.
Historic Society is terrible.
They administer it, right?
Yeah, they administer, they just get their little 2% profit for the handling fee, because we can't cut checks to private people. So they had their. It's a little way through.
Got a second?
Councilmember Grimes?
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull?
Yes.
Councilmember Landry?
Yes.
Mayor Catherine?
Yes. Agenda item 6J, resolution 2023-32, budget. Hire refrigerator, gas factory. Resolution of the city council amending the budget of the city of Perry, Florida for the fiscal year October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2020. Same this is for refrigerator, not a factory.
Good idea.
They were forgotten about and they just need the stuff really bad. And I said, let's just go ahead and I'll do a budget amendment and back into it. So.
You've got a dollar for it.
Yeah, it's on the second page.
Flip it over.
It's over that the dollars are on that little, and where the money's coming from, I believe it was the gas revenues. Was it ARPA that I put in there? I can't remember. I see it once and go on.
Oh, you were approved.
Sorry.
Councilmember Grimes?
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull?
Yes.
Councilmember Landry?
Yes.
Mayor Catherine?
Yes. Agenda item 6J. Resolution 2023-33, state revolving fund sewer. Resolution of the city of Perry, Florida, relating to the state revolving fund loan program, making findings, authorizing the loan application, authorizing the loan agreement, establishing pledged revenues, designating authorized representatives, providing assurances, providing for conflict, severability, and effective date.
We can't apply for any other SRF loans for sewer till you get this done. There's a facilities plan, so you can keep getting these.
So this affects does this affect the lead abatement?
That's for water. This is the wastewater. So yeah, they already got the planning done with the water quite a few years ago. And, so that's your big plan.
Second.
Councilmember Grimes?
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodhull?
Yes.
Councilmember Landry?
Yes.
Mayor Catherine?
Yes. Agenda item 6L, council to review listed committees which council members are appointed to take any action necessary. There are several committees that different ones of us belong to. And it's probably just time to talk about those. Figure out who wants to serve on what committees. We have North Central Florida Regional Planning Council. I don't remember it right now.
Should have a list with your name.
That's your,
Or
yes, ma'am.
I would love to copy that. Give them more time. Give this enough.
Are these things we have to vote on, or everybody in agreement?
What's for you?
She started, I think. Mr. Brown, what that now?
Then she would like to serve on the full board reading the plans as our designated.
Ward took over for me when I was ill.
So you were on there before?
Yes. Not only that, I in the mail. And a bit more.
Everybody, you okay with that?
Which committee are you referring to?
If you wanna give it up.
I'm fine giving it up. Okay, for Community Advisory Task Force for CDBG business. Oh, you know, who's on that?
I got this from Stephanie. She said the city council will appoint citizens to serve.
Oh, for citizens, okay.
Mhm,
So-
the top one is.
Yeah, that's different.
Okay, so, well, let me just.
That's different.
Scratch all that.
She
All right,
might-
city,
I
okay,
didn't understand.
Well, she
Taylor
added
County.
that to it. I didn't know if we need to go over those two. That's what we had to do these on there.
well, they just come up, I guess, whenever.
It's time for the
All right, city councils, the Taylor County Recreational Advisory Board currently meet. Anyone else like to serve on that, you meet one time a month on a Tuesday at noon. They usually last for about 20-30 minutes, you don't vote. Just there to advise and bring information back if they have questions for the city or the liaison between the city and the big crowd. Anyone want to volunteer to do that? Yeah, you want to do that? So you want me to go back on? Go back on. All right, Tourism Development Council, currently myself, Mr. Councilmember Brian. That is a advisory board that basically you got the bed, what they call the bed tax money. And there's X amount of it that goes, that board advises as to how it gets spent. I think the county commission ultimately makes the decision on that. That board meets maybe
When they call me,
basically, I mean, we haven't met in months. Apparently, it's this meeting this Thursday.
At noon, right?
Yes, ma'am, at noon at the Chamber of Commerce. It's usually on a Thursday. Usually on a Thursday, where everything get a forum. But they don't meet that often.
Quarterly, I think,
Maybe.
not even at all.
Anyone like to serve on that?
It's not a conflict having two of y'all on one board.
It's been that way since I've been here. Of course, just cause it's been that way, don't mean keep it.
On there. We had to advertise that two of y'all be in the same room, sunshine law and all that.
You don't make a good decision.
Sometimes at those meetings, they discuss things that could come before the council.
The city council?
Some of that money goes to the chamber, but y'all don't have anything.
You guys, I mean, all it is, it's advisory. They ultimately decide. Anyway, that's legal. I don't think you and I have ever been on one together, have we? We have, maybe one, okay.
Sounds like a real important.
It is.
It is to John
Straight.
Taylor, that's about it.
Are you?
Letting him go on the chamber board, but we're not voting members. So we kind of threw the scoop forward. But that's a different committee. That helps fund chamber.
Does Andrew, do you like to serve on the board? I see you poured on here quite a bit.
You just be on it twice. Or you give it up.
You gave one up.
Gave one up.
And the Taylor County Development Authority representative currently is council member Steve Wood.
Right. She said she wants to stay on, right? Yes,
That's a
ma'am. The only change we're making is Shirley.
ex officio.
Yeah, what's
There's
the
a,
effects?
there's a whole lot of that on.
Exactly.
Everyone.
That means you get to advise, but not vote.
That's exactly what it means.
Well,
Yeah.
you might, yeah, you didn't get to advise.
Okay, that takes care of the board, I guess. Yeah, these other ones up here just come up whenever they come up. All right. Thank you all. Six, oh, in the back. Oh, good. Wishful thinking. Okay, agenda item 6O. Council to discuss Christmas bonuses for city employees. Sure.
$50 gift card. We good. That's what the county did. We just got to do what they did. $51.
51.
The city employees are private.
Can we afford to do? We can afford to do. Do what?
Second, go 100? Yeah.
Yeah.
How many?
That sounds like, that was a motion.
88 or something like that. Yeah.
For 100. Okay, that was a motion. Bill seconded.
Okay, Councilmember Bryan,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
I
Councilmember
think
Woodhull.
from 20 back to 50.
We got 50 last year.
Did you get it? No one told me. We talked about it.
You got how much?
We talked about it.
John might not know.
How much
I
did
didn't
you
count.
50? Yeah.
Well,
Well, I went up a
okay, well, I go. Yes. I changed my vote.
Councilmember Woodhull.
Yeah.
Councilmember Landry.
They didn't tell the council.
Mayor Ketchum.
I think he voted on
We
it.
took. We did.
Okay, was that unanimous vote on that? Okay. Just check. All right. Agenda item 6P.
Motion to read
Thank you.
You said motion to read it.
Do you need a second?
I don't even know what it is.
We're going to table
You
it.
put it on another,
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
you
Yes.
put it on another agenda.
second.
All right.
It's okay. I saw Bill at Rotary today and I just said, what do you want me to talk about for September 30th? And he goes, I don't know, it's just something we need to do. And I said, true, but I have no,
I've got it ready, but I don't.
you've got it ready, but you can ask me my questions later.
We'll, deal with it.
That would be
Years.
fine with me. And ultimately, the auditors will come and do all that stuff, I mean, and I emailed you guys the cash report and this today, or the November one today. So I mean, if you have questions, I mean, the money's same old, you know, between 14 or 15 million and,
Do, cash report for the fiscal, last fiscal.
I'll send you that out too. I'm trying to get bills paid
Well,
and FEMA.
got to January.
Yes, I do. I'll take care of it.
Agenda item 6Q. Approval of minutes for November 14th, 2023 regular session.
Second.
Councilmember Bryan.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Councilmember Woodball,
Yes.
Councilmember Ranger,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yeah, city staff. Who wants to do this?
We are applying for Bonnie River Water Management Grant. One of the letters, AWS, I think, alternative water, S,
Source.
range, media, so. Well, it's been for $20 million.
20 million.
That'll be broken up into phases. That'll be for the whole water treatment, new water treatment plant. And that'll most likely be in conjunction with some SRF stuff. We're gonna have to figure out how DEP will want to handle that, but if we get that approved, it'll make that project go a lot faster, smoother, and hopefully less loans for the city, long-term loans. We thought it was a good time with the hurricane and with the mill shutting down, to at least get something in the pot for that grant. It's the same guy that did our rural infrastructure fund grant. We'll be writing it, the one that hand walked it up in Tallahassee. He did a great job. He was city manager in Mariana for 16 years. He's sharp. I think he's going to be a benefit for us. I don't really know how he gets paid, but I just hope he keeps doing what he's doing.
League of Cities. That's from League of Cities.
No, he's with Sercal. They're funded by one of the three other DP.
I think it is.
Didn't we previously apply for some money for that project and get awarded
Yeah,
some
project,
money?
One,
The well, the water, is this for a well?
that's for the whole
Right.
find the
Okay,
site,
but
test the
didn't we
site.
already get some money?
No,
for
we
it?
didn't get the money. We talked about it through CDBG and then we still have not decided on the site.
We met with them today with the hydrologist and picked top 3 to go try. But don't put that in the paper either, we don't want the prices to go up.
Yeah, we're putting Disney World there.
Of it.
No, I'm just busiest one out here.
So,
I want to let you guys know, if you haven't planned on participating in the Legislative Action Days, January 29th to 31st next year, to talk to most of us, especially because of the hurricane and GP closing, have had some FaceTime with our state reps, but you know, a lot of the things similar to the whole business assessment program, or postings that we have to do now, that I went to the Florida League of Cities legislative conference, and it was really eye-opening because I sat in on the land use committee, just how much it's clear that many of the state legislators have never served in local government, and many of them, well, I shouldn't say many of them, there's a good contingency that don't really trust local municipalities to be able to understand the law. And so there's a lot of things that are just bridging upon home rule that I hope Florida League of Cities and other advocates will help stop. But because of that, they were just suggesting more municipalities make FaceTime with the legislative representatives. So I just wanted to note that. I'm sure everyone here has done their 4-hour ethics class this year. And I'm sitting in tomorrow because it's like the last one Florida League of Cities is doing. Tomorrow between 10 a.m. 3:30 to 3:30 p.m. and it's free. And I hear it's like one of the better speakers they have for that. So if anybody wants to get in on that tomorrow, I think it is also maybe available like recording, but it'll be a live one tomorrow. But I did appreciate having the opportunity to go to a legislative conference and met a lot of good people and some city attorneys. And that's it for now. Happy Merry Christmas.
I was gonna let y'all know that one of our knuckle boom trucks will be here next week. Yep. Also, y'all know that we have some Class A CDL drivers now that can drive the truck that pulls the trailer, the big tex trailer. So we're gonna start that back. That'll help us a lot.
In the previous meeting, I made some comments that were not accurate, or off of old information about recreation. I owe an apology to the county. County actually has been allowing sports teams use the sports complex. So I need to publicly now, say that I apologize for the comments that were not accurate. And, they actually work with.
You weren't the only one. And dozens of people say that.
They didn't call me.
So I do apologize for that, and that was inaccurate. Shouldn't have spoke about it.
Are they letting the War Eagles practice out there?
I don't know. I just know that they do work it out with us.
Okay, I won't worry about it.
So I was told the War Eagles were given the application package and submitted it back.
No, no,
That's what I was.
not true.
I was told the same thing. I don't know either.
Who do I need to talk? Who do I need to?
I was told that by Luanda and by.
Okay, so I need to talk with Luanda?
So, if it was inaccurate and I spoke on it, then
Well, first one, year's about to end. So,
yes, sir. Yeah, you're right. Other than that, Merry Christmas.
relax. Veterans, no traffic light veterans and
Oh, that,
Oh,
yeah,
that-
the traffic light, not street light, yes. That was during the hurricane, it damaged the box. They have a box and controls on order. It takes a while to get it in.
what we do plan.
Oh, yeah, it's already ordered,
That's,
yes.
that's it.
Did all of those streetlights get on the damage?
Yes, traffic
lights, yes.
That was mentioned actually when Ben was in talking to her. We
Okay.
made sure because the building that got destroyed, the compound, had traffic lights
Oh,
amongst everything. So
Actually, Somerville came right after the storm and did a damage assessment of all of them for us, and then, the state or someone, can't remember, came in and did one also. But we are working on trying to,
you code them to 537.
we are. It's just taking time.
And we're supposed to send our FEMA report in, because everyone's cool with what you've read. So, I'll email in the morning and tell her, let's upload that puppy for FEMA.
Well, And I
And
emailed you one change, so
You did.
catches.
I got an
catch that
email from her
before.
too. I can check it.
Yeah.
okay, let me know. But you sent me an email already.
Mhm.
Okay, and I know Sean spoke with her.
Is this Osh?
Josh. Okay. Yes, some of them lift station addresses weren't perfect. Okay, but anyway, it's very accurate, very detailed, so thank God these consultants are writing up this monologue, but yeah. So anyway, we're trying to follow directions and.
And that's
submitted.
one thing too, like Mr. Bell was speaking earlier about our building that's collapsed. It's taking time. We can't just go in there and mess with it right now. You know, we're having to wait till all this is complete.
Which building collapsed?
Mhm.
Which one
The
collapsed?
2 stories
Street compound, our 2 story street building
Where at?
at the garbage compound.
On Drew Street.
We had a better name.
Sanitation compound. We've always called it the garbage compound. I mean, that's just,
Next to the fuel pump. We just
Yeah.
said that. Next to the-
Which
Oh,
we're
we're
getting
getting
now
it.
electronic, keys for our fuel pump.
Yes.
there's a few fuel pumps have been replaced.
Yeah, they're working on the upgrades now.
And we're gonna have electronic float, so it will email us when it gets low, and even email it to our
Yes.
fuel vendor.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And one thing, guys, we're gonna be probably coding this for people Wednesday or Thursday. Probably Thursday.
When you get the computer.
We're hoping the first payroll in July goes on it. That's what they're telling us right now.
I've got a list of the hardware to order. We've been over it. So I'm gonna start getting, the, quotes back on contract pricing for that.
Upgrading the switches and all that good stuff.
But some, we're gonna have to put switches in.
Well,
There's some that never existed, so we're gonna do.
I mean, it's so painful, the old map room, which has stuff in it that's 100 years old, they're having to go through it. They had to buy shelving, which got delivered over, so then that skipped together and all these ancient maps have to get either thrown out or So there's record retention issues with that, stuff we've been holding on to that's garbage. Everything's an ordeal.
We're creating a computer server room. Yeah. Just what we're doing inside City Hall. And area that's
The map room.
hardened, thicker walls, have outside access through the alley so that we can have it secure.
Jail cell.
Yeah, one of those jail cells, yeah. Yeah.
That's what.
I want to see one of those.
There's no longer any doors on it.
We can say that.
Feel like the execution.
No.
Yeah, Mike Smith's building has that in it.
Davis Drive isn't that a city road? I got an email, I can't.
Are you talking about the one off Puckett Raiders too?
Yes, the one off
Okay.
Puckett. That's okay. Cause they were saying that, they were told by someone at the city that it was not a city road. I was like,
Is it to do with the trash?
yes.
Well, I should have that worked out. The FEMA, I call it FEMA trucks, that's just what the debris removal trucks, they were under the impression it was not, and I had to send them stating, yes, the city does, so that's been, should be taken care of. Davis Drive.
At Jerkin Park, the basketball fields, they're asking for, it's on the checkers.
I like the covers. What do you call covers? In Jerkins Park, like over the equipment? What is that called? Covers?
Old barn, that's what it is.
They look nice.
Yes. Are we gonna do something with the other part of the equipment? Cause you know you have a whole nother slide out there that's not covered.
I'm doing my most triangular shade. Where you put 3 poles up, triangular cloth above it. They have them all over.
They're at the beach, they're at the beach.
Okay, yeah, okay, okay.
Well, yeah, they have
Hurricane.
sailed away, yeah. They'll let it paint the holes.
The basketball house.
Or the asset.
Yeah. Let it go.
Good, I don't think. Just,
And then
I think it's-
I thought you'd be happy with our paint.
Thank you, pardon.
I thought you'd be happy with our paint job.
But I mean, see.
Them green beans.
Oh,
up
it's
under it.
not green.
I know.
Talk about, oh,
Okay, thank you. My other
yes,
thing,
I'm very happy.
is that line from Jerkins, restrooms to the splash pad, is that all that running together?
Talking about like septic.
Yes,
I had no idea, but
because
I mean,
that other restroom is
short
short down.
down this one. Yeah, one more time that we're taking the toilet off because it just clogged up and try to sneak in. Tomorrow I'm taking the toilet off. I hope Sean can come help.
Okay. That's a good word. I was just wondering was those same lines running together, that's why we have such a
had no
problem.
idea. It doesn't have nothing to do with that. I mean, it's flowing out of the other side. So it's gotta be in between there.
So,
Poor Sean.
when the lights going off on that, the road, the little, whatever you call that,
Lift station?
lift station there, what does that mean? When the red lights constantly flash?
Somebody had Jerkins,
No, off of Folsom.
also, that means there's no harm.
Do you guys pick it up?
I can test it, 'cause we have a telemetry SCADA that calls on the phones, we haven't gotten anything. So could be, maybe something's not cleared,
I got a lot of phone calls about it last week when I was in Biloxi. They called and said that the light, yes.
do you have, well, you can call me.
Oh, no, I don't have your,
Give it there.
Call me.
Give it there.
can you take, okay.
You can relay the bus.
Broadcast
Okay,
it right here.
I didn't know if you guys get a signal or something that was on a computer to let you guys know that we got a flashlight.
There is, but can't be fitted.
Okay.
And somehow they're going to fund out of them, so I need to know.
What does it do?
What did the anything, just like, something, float sequence failure, like,
That's all I know.
Usually makes it get.
I do too.
Well, that panel was like it was kind of like, what do you call it? They just bought it, it wasn't specifically made, so I mean, it's designed to detect all different kinds of things. It could detect, spikes in power, phase voltage, anything. And if it doesn't get cleared, and a lot of them, they don't show up like maybe on the computer as a fault, it's maybe in the panel itself. So we can take care of it. And then was it just going off at night? 'Cause I really.
Yeah, it was at night.
Report back to us next.
Yeah. That was, I think, it's not.
I would ask Mr. Lehman.
No, that's it.
Sure.
Just one thing, quick. Utility bills. I've been trying to pay my bill online. I have not received a bill in the mail. What's going on, the same thing?
Cause they were mailed out first.
They are all mailed on time.
I have had a phone call today saying the same.
I had one today too, so.
So it wouldn't, I wouldn't be able to do it online?
If you know your account number, you can do it online.
Make sure you go to cityperry.net.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, must have a zero balance. That'd be fine with me. But,
I call and talk to the, I'm not gonna be there tomorrow, but call and talk to those girls.
okay. That's it. Let's go on. I mean,
You approve of him?
Oh, one more thing.
what was that?
Danielle, I want to thank you how many comments. You may think that in that little dark truck that you're not being seen, but I just want to thank you. I've got so many comments coming through me, driving to make sure that the jobs that you sent them out to do. So I just want to just know it's not going.
I'm on my car.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
I
Christmas.
think I'm rich one right now.
Any products?
I'm so happy.
See what we do.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Where's the sticky note that goes over my head?
I don't know. I didn't mess with it. You in the meeting?
You got all your Christmas shopping done, John?
Hadn't even started.
Your daughter's name, Abigail?
Adeline.
Adeline. Adeline. It is cold. Ooh, it is cold.
Turn the air
Sorry.
I'll call her.
I'm like, I don't know why. I might barely, I feel like one to put the sign on.
Well, your blazer's cute.
Thank you. It's the bottom, right?
Yeah.
It says it's still recording. And it would be.